Czechoslovakia, huh?
Yeah. No one's supposed to know about that. I can't blow my cover again.
Yeah, that's true. This is the first episode you guys are technically on at the same time. So
Yeah.
this is us.
Everyone's gonna think this was planned. No. The Harry Henderson's bullshit was planned.
Yeah.
This was you guys messaged me a week ago saying if I wanted to do this.
Well, yeah, because immediately after we finished, Swine was like, "Hey, do you have plans to do a Goofy movie episode?" I'm like, "Technically." And then it just blossomed from there, where I go, "We have to have William on it." So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. We might as well start the episode then officially here. Hello, welcome to Too Many Movies, the podcast where we discuss DVDs, Blu-rays, and even the occasional VHS tape. I'm your host, Hal, and I got William.
Yeah, we should just start the recording file with me saying, so Czechoslovakia, huh?
We should do that. Yeah, I think that's my plan to go with that. But also, Ben's here. Ben's back again. Third episode this year. How you doing, Ben?
Gosh, too many movies.
Look,
Hi, I'm here.
There's going to be a lot of yucking in this episode.
Yeah, we have special guest Maxie. Say hi, Maxie. Dad!
Beat it, doofus.
Gosh.
You know, like how he uses the same voice from Max he uses for Tack and Tack and the Power of Juju.
He uses it for a lot of his roles.
You know.
Yeah, it's the same voice he uses as what is it, Binks and fucking the cat in Hocus Pocus. Because it's not the live action actor. The live action actor is I think it's one of the Hanks sons, and then the voice when he's a cat is Jason Marsden, which is hilarious. Because he just had...
I did not know there was a talking cat in Hocus Pocus. I have not watched Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that's one of them early 90s joints you haven't watched yet, William? Well, there's a first time for everything. Come October.
Well, no one gets stabbed in the eye, so I don't care.
No, yeah, I guess nobody gets stabbed in the eye in Hocus Pocus. I can't remember if that's a thing or not.
You couldn't remember if Balloon Man 1993 was a real movie or not either.
Listen, okay? It sounded real. It sounded like...
That was the point.
I know, it sounded legit. Yeah. Wait, why did you even bring it up? You said...
To fuck with you.
Yeah, William made me think that there was actually a 1993 stop-motion animated film called Balloon Man, and I believed him. And then I went on a quest to look for it, couldn't find it. I came back, said, "William, did you make that up?" He goes, "Yeah."
Well, because you said, like, oh, you don't fall away, like that one character in that one Tim Burton movie nobody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with a Tim Burton movie you wouldn't remember.
My source is that I made it up.
Yeah, quite literally.
Me when I spread misinformation for no good reason.
It happens a lot.
Hey, you guys feel like gaslighting your friends for no reason?
Yeah.
Let's go gaslighting right now.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of gaslighting, so it was funny.
What about goof lighting?
Hey, Hal, William doesn't realize we're not posting this episode yet.
Oh yeah.
The tax write-off episode. I knew it.
The tax.
You gotta make a whole 2 cents off of this.
Yeah. But anyway, to answer your question, I am very much into goof lighting. Not goof maxing because that's too much, but goof lighting. Let me tell you.
Well, technically, this is Goof Maxing because Goof and Max are in this movie.
Oh, well, you had to make it legit.
Max is in this movie?
He is.
Shit. Now what are we going to do?
What movie did I watch?
Oh, no, I watched the adult parody by mistake.
Oh, that is
Thank God Max
real.
wasn't in that.
No wonder there were so many yucks.
Oh my Lord.
Max is only allowed to be in the extremely goofy movie adult parody.
Oh, with 3 X's?
Yeah, X's, 3 X's.
Yeah.
Nice.
And 3 Maxes.
The college XXX games.
That's right, Ken, and he's fucking her in the ass.
Good form. Oh, he finished too early, though. That's going to cost him some points.
Look what the freshman cat dragged in.
This video's been demonetized.
Bradley Upperfuck the Third. Gamma's in my ass.
We got an audience of two
Baby.
for this one. No one will be seated.
Yeah. Anyway, what a way to start off the Goofy movie episode.
Go yuck.
Guard.
Yeah.
Yowie.
All right, William, you start us off.
Monsters Pussy Bark.
God damn it! All right, I'm gonna stop myself. William, start us off. A Goofy movie, please.
Okay. About peak fiction. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay. we gotta center ourselves.
Yeah. Get the sillies out.
Homina. Yuck.
The demons told me to.
The demons, Mickey. It's the demons. Go yuck. And I'll fucking do it again. Start the episode, Mickey. You're a coward, Mickey. You always were.
No. See, that's the thing. William, you were the only person I could imagine that was required to be on this episode. And look, I'm paying for it, but it's worth it because look,
the problem is you got both of us.
Yes, that's true.
We're finally gonna break the 9-hour mark.
Yeah.
We're doing it, baby. We're doing it, Maxie, baby. We're breaking the 9 hours.
We're too many movies maxing right now.
This episode's going down like a 4-cent pair of socks.
There's destiny that we come together and break the record.
Like
What
destiny.
if the facehugger went on Ripley's face and went, slurpage?
Slurpage.
Okay, so Goofy movie
my
from
fundage,
1995.
Yes.
I think this is safely to say this is one of all three of our favorite movies.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say so.
Definitely. Maybe not top 20. Maybe definitely top 50. But it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, it's safe to say I feel the same way. And honestly, it was something until this is one of those movies that I didn't I remembered as a kid, but it was really when I got back to it at I realized our old days in the Shapeless Discord and whatnot. You two, Sylvanator always memeing on it, got me into watching it back. I was like, whoa, this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
And,
I remember
it's just every time I go back to it, I just love it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody made a Smash Bros. Custom stage of just the fucking logo.
Yeah.
Because it is flat at the top, so you could just have people fighting on it.
Yeah, it works.
I think we all had this on VHS at some point, didn't we?
No, actually.
I did
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I did though.
Yeah, you're the only one with a VHS tape in this situation.
Well, not anymore, but I had one when I was
Right.
younger.
Yeah, no,
And Extremely.
I definitely didn't own it. This and Extremely I didn't own as a kid. It wasn't until I was an adult that I owned it, but I knew about it through reruns on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they aired it a lot there too.
Yes, that's
And
yeah.
the DVD copy was always available. Even
Mhm.
a couple of years ago, it was still at Walmart for $4.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the old Gold Collection one that hasn't been updated since. So it still has trailers for Little Mermaid 2.
Yep, that's the one. That's the DVD I have right now. So
Cheaper.
I
than
had
it
it
is
for a
now,
while
though.
too, but now I have the actual Blu-ray from the Disney Movie Club.
Right.
Which
Oh, you
it's
lucky
weird that it was
bastard.
exclusive.
Yeah.
If you wanted those on Blu-ray, you had to join the Disney Movie Club for both that and Extremely.
mm-hmm.
They're also,
Mhm.
because they're Disney Movie Club Blu-ray, so their bare bones releases is just the movie on there.
Right.
So in that way, the DVD is probably better because it actually has bonus features. Not the biggest bonus is the trivia game and an episode of Goof Troop.
Yes, I literally
Yeah.
just watched the Goof Troop episode and played the trivia game before recording.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're both bare bones, but
Right.
the one's more bare bones. You're getting the Blu-ray for the video quality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
the DVD is still full screen, so that's a little weird, but it's not the worst.
And the
thing in
Blu-ray
world.
now, because the Disney Movie Rewards or Club, whatever, since they canceled it last June, I think, the Blu-ray has gone like skyrocketed. It's like going like for $100 on eBay now.
Oh yes.
I mean, even it was already going for like 40, even when it was still up, because like those exclusives are hard to get if you're not actually in the club.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like $20-something if you get them from the club itself. Then people will like resell them on eBay for like 40, and then now that the club's over, now you just have to go. You're at the will of the eBay reseller. So if you want that Blu-ray copy of Old Yeller, which, side note, they did not do a major physical release for fucking Old Yeller. That's an exclusive. Why?
That's weird.
Yeah.
You think Old Yeller is known enough that could go for like a regular Walmart release?
Mm-hmm. Disney's going kind of crazy for the 30th anniversary. I haven't heard anything about another physical release, but you think they could throw us a bone or something, you know?
Throw us a bone
like
here,
maybe,
people.
If they decided like a 4K at some point, maybe. But like, I think they're still like working through like the regular backlog.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Cinderella and Snow White are still relatively recent 4Ks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think. Not everything from the Renaissance era even has a 4K yet, I don't think. I think it's just really like the first couple.
Yeah.
Up to like Lion King, I think they all are out at this point.
Yeah, I think it's just up to Lion King and that's it, which, to be fair, it's like nobody wants Pocahontas. It's debatable if people would buy Hunchback at retail.
I know someone who would.
I'm sure I do. I'm sure it'd do well.
Yeah. He's one of them is in this call, Hal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It also look really nice before I get to all the colors. Maybe Tarzan would do okay.
I could own Tarzan.
Hercules and Mulan would sell though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mulan for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like I don't know if Treasure Planet would do well on Fork.
I think it'd have enough of a cult that they would do. It would probably not be as many as the other ones, but I think it has enough of a cult that people would go and get it.
It has a cult, but I don't know if it's like a cult following that would get that like big box stores like Walmart and Target. Well, not Target, but Walmart.
Sure.
I feel like that's more like an Arrow audience type deal. Like maybe at Barnes and Noble people would buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like the people would buy it off like. It'd be more like a boutique thing.
Boutique, yeah.
There's like a good post I saw recently that was like, I love how physical media is such a collector's market that like big, well-known classic films still don't have 4K releases yet, and you can't find them anywhere. But you can get Spawn 1997 on 4K, and it'll have 9 hours of bonus features.
Hey, this is how we win.
Yeah.
That's not a joke, by the way. The Arrow's doing Spawn this year.
I know. When there's a different devilish superhero they could have released on 4K.
We don't know who the fuck has the rights, I guess.
No, we don't.
I don't. I think we looked up what we don't remember.
Right.
Maybe Vestron will get lucky and do it. I don't know.
Maybe.
You know, it's weird that, like, because Vestron has Chopping Mall on Blu-ray, but Scream Factory's doing the 4K.
Huh.
So, Goofy movie.
It's a Goofy movie.
All right, Goofy movie.
How do we start here?
Where do we start at the beginning?
The floor's yours.
There.
Is it like a specific like aspect that we just want to start with?
I mean, I've already said I didn't own this growing up. I watched it all the time on Disney Channel, so that's kind of how I was introduced to the movie as a kid.
I was same boat, but I definitely saw Extremely Goofy movie more as a kid. I feel like that one just it was the 2000s, so like I guess that one just resonated, and they were like, oh yeah, this is what's hip with the kids. Which,
yeah,
entirely wrong.
There's a difference between like 1995 and the 2000.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, they're very time PC. Like it is a good thing, which is a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
Well. It was also like interesting because like Max is like one of the few Disney characters who's like actively aged throughout the films and stuff. Because in Goof Troop, he's a kid, very much child, but then like you have the Goofy movie and he's like 14, 15 years old. So he's a firm teenager. And then he gets an Extremely Goofy movie and like he's going to college and he does physically look a lot older now. Like, you can tell this is the same character, but he is definitely older. And they do the same for everybody. Like, even Pete and Goofy look slightly older in Extremely Goofy movie than they did before.
I can see that.
Like Pete has like a more, from what I noticed, he had like a more pronounced chin and wrinkles.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, son. I can't miss you. Don't leave.
Did I miss something?
I will bring this up again when we get there, but like, I like how Pete is in 2 scenes and they give him the best for they just give him the fourth wall like for fun.
Yeah.
And because of that, they don't bother changing his outfit. He's just inexplicably grilling
He's
in the
always
middle of November.
I just want to grill.
I just want to grill for God's sake.
Just inexplicably grilling in the middle of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his entire character. Even when Bigfoot's there, he's grilling.
Apparently, Bigfoot has a son that went to college.
For real, like, yeah, they never explained that.
It's probably just meant to be an Easter egg, because like there's also that other guy in the crowd shots who's like wearing Goofy's classic outfit.
Yeah. I guess that's where, like, okay, like, well, I guess the worlds can be a little who is like confusing as far as like where is Donald, and like you got like Mickey like hitchhiking and whatnot. You got like, it's like a mix of like, okay, Mickey's famous, but at the same time,
yeah, it's like
Mickey's not
famous
like,
enough. He's famous enough to be selling clocks and telephones of him for children, because Max has a Mickey Mouse a phone in his room.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then Mickey and Donald are hitchhiking.
Mm-hmm. And Donald's
Walt
also
Disney was a real person that existed.
Yeah, and Donald Duck's also Goofy's best friend.
And everyone in the world is a dog except for Mickey and Donald, I guess.
Yeah.
And also in an Extremely Goofy movie, at one point, there's a guy who goes, ain't that Mickey Mouse over there? So
yeah,
clearly he's also famous in that movie. So yeah,
they name drop Huey, Dewey, and Louie when they're driving to college.
Yeah, so this is another chipmunk debacle where it's like, are they famous or not?
Well, this is more like just a matter of it's a small Easter egg joke thing.
Sure.
So it doesn't
it's
actually
entirely
matter.
unimportant, but yeah.
No, yeah, it's just fun to point out.
Whereas in the Chipmunk Adventure, so there are plush toys being sold of these guys, but no one seems to recognize them anywhere they go.
Yeah. That kind of thing. Yeah, it is very minor in this case, but oh well.
And no one is questioning these small children in hot air balloons.
I mean, yeah, wait, what was up with that?
Why hot air balloons? I know it's because it's an around the world in 80 days thing, but why hot air balloons?
They were huge in the 80s, William. Don't you remember?
The Hindenburg was what, the 30s?
Yes. The Hindenburg is a Zeppelin, though.
Yeah, but it's like, they're basically a balloon. Balloons are basically balloons, right?
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Same thing. Air.
Not air.
Yeah, air. There's air in your car? Basically a balloon. Yo, sure was nice of Max and Goofy to drive around the country in a balloon with wheels. What does a car have around the country with wheels?
And what does that car have on it? Oh, right, the peace logo.
Got him. Wait, are they actually driving Mercedes in that
balloon around the country?
No, I'm just connecting this to your other blunder with the peace logo.
So the Goofy movie, huh?
So the Goofy movie. I guess, yeah, no, Ben, you made a good point. If we're gonna start, we might as well start at the beginning. Let's talk about Max's dream sequence, because that's the first scene.
So how many kids had Max their furry awakening from this sequence?
A lot. I would imagine. I didn't, thank God, but I can.
You know, they say that 1 in 4 people had a furry awakening from the opening Goofy movie. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think Roxanne passes human enough to not.
Man,
need
you were
do
supposed
that.
to say all. You also were supposed to say I didn't, so we could all look at the audience accusingly.
Yeah. I already said I didn't. Audience.
It was definitely the audience. Whoever's listening to this, you're a furry.
You're also 5'4". Take that, Katzenberg.
Rough.
Got him.
Got him.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's a great opening sequence. I remember when learning in the documentary how they wanted the opening to really establish that this movie is going to be from Max's perspective. And by showing him having this nightmare of turning into Goofy, it's a little on the nose when you look at it from that perspective. But I think it's still effective. Not only is it animated very well, for showing him grow his big black feet. And
It's Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot.
Could you step back, Mr. Foot? You're out of focus.
But it's still a good way to show Max's Max's ideas of turning into his father and how he's kind of insecure about that.
Yeah, very like it's written very like it's the beginning, but yeah, it just fits very naturally in the story, and it, like in an exaggerated way, like communicates very clearly what Max's fears are. Like,
it's a piece of cinema for his part of the movie.
This movie is just so well written, so well thought out. It's I'm gonna keep gushing over. But yeah, it's just like it's a perfect setup. Like like it's a standard dream sequence, but like it does a very good job at communicating. This is our main character, and this is the like I don't know, his the hero's journey or whatever. Like what he's like, he has to overcome his like fears of relationship with his dad and fears of like talking to Roxanne and whatnot. Like,
without saying a single word, they basically established Max's order from Goof Troop. This is the woman he's in love with, and this is what he's afraid of.
That's three things, which is without saying a word. You're right. I mean, you occasionally have the characters saying each other's names, like Roxanne or Max. You know, it's still a great sequence of events. Yeah, it's a great opening to this awesome movie.
And like they also it's it's a dream sequence from the jump, because like all the gold and white are very like that color scheme is very ethereal.
Yeah,
almost like heaven-like. So it's like you can tell that this is not real, but
because then it hard cuts to the much darker colors of when he transforms into Goofy.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. And like, they'll talk about this. We'll get to this documentary, but it's like your dad is literally Goofy. Like it is like Max is super hip and Goofy is the opposite of hip, more or less. Like
that was his tagline for the marketing purposes. He's cool, but his dad is Goofy.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's the trailer, isn't it? But it's like it just sets itself up really well, and it's like it's exaggerated, but it's also like, okay, he's literally just turning into his dad as his fear. It's not like that crazy of like a fear. Like,
I mean, it's normal. A lot of people are afraid of turning into the parents.
Yeah.
Especially if you're O.J. Simpson's son. I don't want to turn into O.J. Simpson.
Well, you don't want to be the star of Juiced?
That's like the one bit in like the new Naked Gun trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have all the people mourning the loss of their parents who are in the force, and then you got the guy who was like Nordberg's son. He's just like,
nah.
I don't want to be here.
That is a good joke, yeah.
Could you step out of the way, Mr. Nordberg? You're out of focus.
Yeah,
I
guess do we want to move on to the next scene? Yeah. I mean, we don't have to go like scene by scene, but
morning, son. Oops, I forgot.
Max has Powerline posters on like every square foot of his wall.
Yeah, which I mean, looking at it, his basic dream is that he wants to be a rock star. He's a teenager, so of course he has. So of course he idolizes this teen pop star / rock star, this vague Michael Jackson like character, Powerline.
Yeah, and that's basically the entire culture of this world.
Very 90s,
even though everyone else reacts too.
Yeah,
it's very like Princey too. Like they said this guy in the documentary that the guy I got singing like worked with Prince on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like the backup singer, like that woman was like Prince's backup singer, which that was awesome to see.
Yeah,
because they really like specify Max trying to play music, but you see like the amps and the guitars in the background
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Like it establishes that element of the character. Like you know what he likes without having to actually tell us what he likes.
I mean, you
Yeah.
will have him say it's Powerline Dad, the biggest rock star on the planet.
Well, that's just so we know the name.
Yeah,
correctly.
exactly.
But like, if you look closer, you'll see like, okay, we get a lot more of who Max is as a character. We're looking at his room, and like that is just like one really nice thing about this movie is that like this movie is really short and they convey a lot of information really effectively. That's just so tightly written. Like I'd argue there's really no filler in this movie.
No.
Yeah. Like the number of callbacks is like, and we got like this scene. You got like Goofy, whoever the Mambo King. Who is the Mambo King?
Everybody Mambo.
Yeah, I love that. Like Max just goes back. Oh yeah, everybody Mambo. With the secretary.
Yeah, he's dancing with the secretary.
Miss
Marple.
Which fun fact?
Miss Marple.
Fun fact.
It's my father immediately.
On the Disney Movie Club Blu-ray, when you're on the main menu, it plays the Everybody Mambo music as the menu theme. It just plays that on loop.
Yeah, that's great. But then
I don't know what it is for Extremely Goofy Movie, but that's what it is for a regular Goofy movie.
I think it's... Yeah, I don't know either. I don't have the Blu-ray. But I just know on the DVDs, they're just complete silence, so...
After he runs the standee, Max leaves, and that's when we get the first song of the movie.
Speaking of music.
Do you just want to talk about the songs in general?
Yeah, because this is a musical, and I think that's important to establish. But we should also say this rules as a musical. The songs are pretty awesome.
Because like all the songs we get After Today, which is the kind of the big I Want song, kind of, because you could also argue that Stand Out is also an I Want song, just from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And then you have On the Open Road, which establishes like the conflict between Goofy and Max without having them that direct. Well, they do argue, but it really just gives you both of their point of view and gets the trip moving. Lester's Possum Park technically counts as a song. The song itself doesn't advance the plot, but the scene itself does, because like that is like the lowest point for Max and Goofy.
It's very emblematic of lame attractions that even looking at it, no matter how old you are, just looks tourist traps, exactly.
Max
where it's lame no matter what.
Yeah.
Max gets the possum guy killed by a bunch of children.
And like it's just and like you got to see like things were different now from when Goofy was a kid, that this does not cut it anymore.
Well, it's interesting because even as an adult, you tend to start to grow up. You grow up and you realize, okay, some of the things that Max likes isn't cool anymore. But honestly, as an adult, I still think Lester's Possum Park is lame as fuck, which I think is part of the joke.
They communicate that pretty
I think that is part of the joke.
Obviously, I think I actually relate most with the guy who's actually running it. Who hates his life.
Just hits the stage to get the possum to work again.
Yeah. One of the possum animatronics literally just explodes, and you see the wires coming out. It's so funny.
I like the little baby girl who does not want anything to do with the show until the show actually starts, and then she's all happy, smiley.
Yeah, great.
And then the moment ends, and she's crying again.
Yeah, it's so funny. What I love about that scene specifically, just a little tangent, is that scene did affect me as a child because I kind of have a similar experience with that. Where I was dragged. This isn't like a traumatic thing. This is a funny story. For my 7th birthday, my parents, when I was 7, my parents drove me because this was like a special trip that my grandparents had planned. It was a surprise. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna take you to this special place and we're gonna celebrate your birthday." I'm thinking, "Oh, what could this be?" I genuinely have no idea what this is. And we drive all the way down to Connecticut, and it's a fucking Thomas the Tank Engine fair. Because they used to do that where they would bring in like life-size models of Thomas the Tank Engine trains, and you could ride on the train, and you had all these tents with like Thomas trains in them, and Thomas fans commune and all that stuff.
So what's the problem? This sounds cool.
Because I was 7 and I was no longer a Thomas fan at the time, and so we get there and I'm like, oh, that's neat. And so I have this specific memory of us being on this Thomas train, and they're blasting Thomas music for people to sing along to, and everybody's singing along except me. I'm literally just sitting there, and in that moment I go, my God, I'm literally Max at the Possum Park right now. And I made a face where I'm like, I genuinely was not happy. Now, I didn't go so far as to blow up at my parents like Max does to Goofy in this scene, because I was not that kind of kid. Like, when we were done, they were like, did you have fun? I was like, yeah, yeah, I did. So, but it was just, it's just so funny to look back at that memory. And even in that moment, I felt related to Max in that moment. It's just, but, you know, because, yeah, it was kind of lame. I'm not going to lie. Like, I get it. If I was like a kid, maybe much younger, I would have loved going to that Thomas Fair. But at that time, I was no longer a Thomas fan, and I couldn't help it. I just thought, this sucks. I don't want to be here.
You missed the boat.
Yeah, I missed the boat.
Now, if you went there as an adult, where like now was the fair itself good?
I
guess is a real question.
I guess it was fine because it was just I don't have a ton of memories of it because I obviously blocked it out, but it was just one of those things where I guess maybe I would have thought, like I said, if I was much younger, I would have loved it, because I did go to a Thomas Fair when I was much younger and a much bigger Thomas fan. I remember going to that one and having a way better time. It was just going to this one at that age, with me no longer being into this franchise anymore in that way. Yeah, it was not for me anymore. I probably still wouldn't like it because I'm not that much of a Thomas fan. I'm a huge Magic Railroad fan, but that's for different reasons.
Okay, so got it.
Yeah. So,
all right, too many movies on the railroad.
Yeah.
We're taking it to the Thomas Fair.
William and Hal going to Thomas Fair. Let's go. Me when I've only seen like barely any. I barely even watched Thomas as a kid.
Right.
So Thomas and the Magic Goof Move.
Perfect.
You're a coward, Thomas. You always were. Take the shot, Diesel.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Oh, yuck! Fuck yeah! Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
There's Possum Hat's Possum Heart.
Oh no.
Oh, it's even cheaper. Oh no! They only have one possum.
And it's a train.
But as far as being a musical goes, that's also like the movie kind of stops being a musical at that moment too, because then the next song isn't until the third act with Nobody Else But You, which is the big moment where like Max and Goofy finally come to terms with each other and learn the lesson they need to learn. And then right after that we have Eye to Eye, which it's another Powerline song, but also still carries with the themes of the movie, and it's the confirmation that yes, they have indeed learned the lesson. And here we see it in motion.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the only music they have in between that would be the montage when they're doing things together.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you made that a part where they sang, it would have been a little too distracting and too... Like, I feel like the music there is just to carry along the scenes. Like, the scenes in that scene should be the focus of seeing them, you know, kind of go to these different places that Max wants to go to. He kind of notices Goofy's not having as much fun, so he... you know, extends the olive branch, brings him to the International House of Rubber Bands or whatever that place was.
Yeah,
world's biggest ball of yarn.
Yeah.
It's like the moment like Goofy gives Max the map to be navigator is the moment the ship comes around, because like, okay, he's opened up to me now, and now it's like I can choose things. I can put my input into knowing what I know about my father. I can pick things I think he would like as well.
Yeah, it's a very mature moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And before we move off of the musicals, I have to remind y'all that there is Staying Alive when Bigfoot's listening to the
that is true. Yeah. That is true.
Radio. It's one of their songs we forgot.
That's honestly funny thinking about. Staying Alive was in a lot of movies I watched a lot growing up. So I came across that song a lot growing up. So there was that. There was when Marty's walking through New York City and Madagascar. There's the sequence in Airplane. Like, all these movies I grew up watching just had Staying Alive. Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken Little has every song.
Chicken Little just has a banger soundtrack all around anyway.
Yeah.
One Little Slip.
One Little Slip's a great song.
And, like, It's also funny because with Staying Alive, that's also like foreshadowing to the big 70s motifs that carry throughout Extremely Goofy Movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure,
guessing
the
not
continuity there.
intentionally, but
It's still
Yeah.
a
I'd like
Yeah.
to think so.
it's still a cool
It's
connection
not,
nonetheless.
but
yeah.
and like we didn't really go over like what Standout's purpose is, but like it's a Powerline song, but it's also kind of a bit of a I Want song because it's like Max doesn't want to be the goof anymore as he established in the last song. Because
Yeah.
I guess after today is also kind of like the exposition song, just like here's the world we live in. You get a taste of what Max wants, but you also get like an understanding of all the people he lives with.
Yeah.
And they have
Mhm,
Standout,
yeah.
which is it's Powerline singing, but like it also fulfills Max's needs.
That's a
he
good
wants
point.
to stand out.
Yeah.
He wants to be with Roxanne. And here we see him like doing something that gets everyone's attention in a positive way for once, instead of just fucking hooking up
Yeah.
like his dad does.
That's a good point. The fact that this song that was probably only really meant to be kind of a Radio Disney tie-in for the fake pop star in the movie also still applies as an I Want song in that scene.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why what you do when you're writing this song is like
Right.
both Powerline songs have narrative purpose aside from being they're written in a way where like if you heard them out of context, you would not realize that it's from a movie.
Right.
That it fits as a regular song.
Yeah.
But they're written in a way like if you know the movie, you know why it's talking about what it is.
Right.
It's like it's still thematically relevant.
Oh yeah.
It's also like the one song that's also broken in half because like it gets interrupted by Principal Mazer when he busts them, but then you get the final verse and bridge when we leave school and is now popular.
Yeah, that's cool
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It also saves the baby's life.
Mazer.
Can we like real quick talk about the fact that like when Max is like running through all the different houses during the reprise,
Yeah.
he saves the baby's life.
Yeah, because the baby was
Yeah.
about to stick a fork in the outlet. Which
What a bold joke for a Disney movie.
Yeah, even as a kid, I knew that. I realized, oh fuck, that kid's about to. Oh no, Max saved him. Okay.
He's just that cool.
Yeah.
What was the name of like the moving van?
Starving House Pets Moving Company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not notice that one.
Yeah. But Roger Ebert
Yeah,
noticed.
there's like some really fun background details.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like I have a picture of like the magazine that the two Star Trek nerds are reading, the comic book that the Star Trek nerds are reading during After Today.
And up
There's
with
a
the
big ad
comics.
for there's
Yeah.
a big ad for sea monkeys because it was the 90s and that was a big thing back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the ad underneath it. Do you need extra money? Of course, $20 is yours. Like, what an ad!
Yeah, just straight up, I'll give you $20.
$20 is yours.
Wow. I can't
There's
lose.
like in when Max is talking to PJ at the locker, there's like a random Alice Cooper flyer and stuffed in someone's locker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's a Star Trek nerd who's going, talk to me, baby.
Yeah.
That's
They
who,
say.
if you didn't know, that's fucking Dante Bosco,
Mm-hmm.
the voice of Zuko in the last Airbender.
And Rufio from
Oh.
Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katara, talk to me, baby.
Okay.
And we also got to point out that the blonde girl, like the blonde popular girl in
Yeah.
the movie, that's Julie Brown, right?
Gonna live in
Okay.
the mall.
Yeah, writer of Earth Girls Are Easy. And also, yeah, the dumb blonde song from Earth Girls Are Easy. So I guess that applies.
Yeah.
Because I'm a
I mean, that's why
blonde.
she took the role, probably.
Probably, yeah. Hey, Max, wicked dance.
There's like one small, I don't know if it was actually intentional or not, but I'd like to believe so. Like when Max, PJ, and Bobby are backstage before they do the power line thing. When when they cut to him, he's just like behind the curtains and there's not much in the background. But for PJ specifically, you look and you see like a bunch of like backdrops for a school play,
Mm-hmm.
and especially like pirate stuff and a bunch of skull and crossbones. And it's like PJ is the big nervous kid because he's Pete's son. So he's a bit of a scaredy cat. He's a nerd. And he's the one who gets like the skull and crossbones. And it just highlights how scared he is about everything.
That, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that is cool. Because it is, yeah, a little detail when you think about that.
Because
That's
like
cool.
there's no attention called to it. Like they had to fill it with something. So they chose that, and it fits PJ.
There's also one. I remember there's because it's a pirate ship. I think there's like an Ariel cutout too. There's a mermaid cutout, and it's the green and purple. You know, the green fishtail, the purple bra. It's definitely
the Ariel reference.
Yeah,
there's definitely there's a light switch like that in the Waterbed Hotel too.
Yeah,
and like if you look in Principal Mazur's office, there's inexplicably a cabinet full of the display case full of fucking paddles.
That rules. Because he's gonna punish the children for not eating their meat before their pudding. Another brick in the wall.
Mazer, how's it hanging?
Robert Zimmerowski.
Mazer, which we haven't talked about this yet. Bobby is played by fucking Pauly Shore.
Which is so 90s.
Brilliant casting.
Hey,
like,
Max.
He's only in like a couple scenes.
Right.
And he's not in Goof Troop. He's an original character from this movie. The only Goof Troop characters are Max, Goofy, PJ, and Pete.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. There's no Peg. There's no Pistol.
Yeah. Which is very funny because Pete's daughter's name is Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did watch that Goof Troop episode, and it was weird every time Peg called him Peter. She's like, Peter? I'm like, no, that's Pete, bitch. What are you talking about?
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah. Hey, Isn't Pete just such a great character?
I love Pete. He rules.
He's just, like, Jim Cummings made a good point about, like, he can't just be mean and evil. You have to have humor with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm glad they made him a much more humorous character in modern interpretations, contemporary interpretations.
Like, he's a piece of shit, but you love him.
Oh, yeah, I love Pete. I think it's this movie and the Three Musketeers movie that establishes, when I think of Pete as a character. Yeah, that's the Pete I think of when I think of Pete as a character in the Disney pantheon.
And I mean, Three Musketeers is evil, but yeah, this one is just kind of he's a bit of an asshole, like definitely a narcissist. But
how you would love it in Kingdom Hearts, Pete is a recurring villain in the second game.
Yeah,
he's like working for Maleficent. Yeah, so he just keeps showing up when you don't want him to try to cause trouble, and just keeps bumbling around.
Yeah, I love the Only Plays playthroughs of the Kingdom Hearts games. They're literally the only reason I know anything about Kingdom Hearts. Pete was kicking over buckets of water, so we sent him to the nightmare dimension.
They make you think Goofy dies for real, and then he comes back like 2 minutes later. So and Mickey just goes, "They'll pay for this." Gets the Keyblade.
Say, fellas, did someone say the door to darkness?
Last year, Hallmark made a Kingdom Hearts Mickey ornament of him in the fucking cloak.
Yeah.
And he's in the meme pose. Like from the key artwork.
I sometimes...
Which, on that note, there's a Goofy movie Hallmark ornament this year. It's Max dresses Powerline.
That rules. That's nice. Cool.
And for whatever... And with Hallmark ornaments, they always do like the debut, like they release like half of them in July and then the rest of them in October. But for whatever reason, the Max's Powerline ornament is available right now. It came out immediately when the documentary came out, I guess, to celebrate the anniversary.
I guess so, yeah.
But it's like inexplicably the one ornament for 2025 that's already available is Goofy Movie.
This is the year of Goofy Movie, dude.
Yeah. And like, but still talking about Pete's character, it's like one thing I appreciate is that even though he's a dick, they still make it so like he clearly likes Goofy as a person. Like they are friends.
They're
like you still get that sense. Like when they're working together at the Photoshop, they seem to enjoy each other's company. When he sees Goofy like in the tent when they run into each other with the RV, it's like, Goof, what case of serendipity doodah? Like he's glad to see him. It's like, okay, they're actually friends.
Yeah.
Like when he gives him the advice in Extremely Goofy Movie. Yeah, it's bad advice and Goofy doesn't listen to it. But like he's not doing that to be a dick. He like genuinely is trying to help.
Well, there is that scene later on when they meet each other at the motel. And Pete overhears.
He's trying to cause problems.
Well, but you can still interpret it either way, where he's doing it because he wants Goofy to take his advice for real, but it's also a bit of still malicious because he just wants Goofy to punish Max.
Yeah, it's also like self-validating. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, I told you, I warned you about this
right,
kid.
exactly.
And like, here I'm
Exactly.
I'm proved
Yeah,
right.
Yes, exactly. There's
Yeah.
it's not a yeah, he doesn't actually care either way. He just wants to be proven right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of
It's
like,
like that's like the big dichotomy in the hot tub scene. It's like Max loves me, my kid respects me.
Oof.
I love that scene.
What a
that scene's
line.
so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's we'll get to that in the I guess they cover it in the documentary is like they had to like I don't know, I guess they talk about how like Goofy having like more serious tones and how like how they kind of got to that point.
You can kind of hear in that scene specifically that like Bill Farmer is struggling a little bit to keep in character voice while doing that more grim vocals. But like he still does a good job.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like I love like where he's able to have the more serious tones. Like I think just the contrast. Like it takes itself seriously. Like the rating is like, oh yeah, my son respects me. My son loves me. My son respects. I love that they can like take these characters seriously, and you have the like the contrasting parental viewpoints, and like Goofy is like Goofy is proven as like point is validated by the end of the movie. Like it does an excellent job at kind of like proving Goofy's perspective right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you can have these scenes, but it doesn't take away from the comedic tone either, because I feel like they do a good job at blending all the serious and the comedy into something pretty coherent.
Yeah. I would mostly characterize Pete's character like, I think that his relationship, he does like he cares for Goofy. I think he definitely has like a bit of a self-serving mentor role. He feels like he has to have like to really read into it, I guess, too much. You just look at like at the beginning of the movie where he's kind of jealous that Goofy's doing so well. Like, the parent compliments Goofy on being like so great with kids, and Pete's like, oh, I have to show I'm great with kids too.
You have such a way with children. You have such a way with children.
You also like see like a precursor like the whole under the thumb thing, because like in order to deal with the girl, he puts fucking Velcro on her to hold it in place.
Yeah,
it's like he wants to like have full control and hold them down in place. Like how he does with PJ, whereas Goofy, it's like he appeals to the child to make them want to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's like another point about like the whole raising the child thing. It's like where Peter's wrong is that like the only reason that works with PJ is because he's been doing it his entire life. If Goofy tries it on Max at this point when he's already a rebellious teenager, that's going to drive him away even further, and we see that happening in that fishing scene.
Yeah.
And it's even fair to argue, like Pete's like lack of confidence is PJ's like lack of confidence and like kind of scared outlook is definitely caused by the way that Pete's raising him, which isn't necessarily a good thing either.
Oh man, my dad's gonna smash me like a bug.
Yeah,
my dad's gonna nuke my entire existence, which is funny. Until you realize it's like, no, it's kind of messed up. He actually would. But it's still a funny line. It's still really funny seeing PJ be like, if my dad finds I'm using the camera, he'll kill me.
When he the strike at bowling, he's like,
woohoo, strikeola!
High five, too slow.
As long as you know that 4 quarters equals a simoleon, you'll survive. I mean, I know that, but that doesn't mean I have a simoleon.
Where's my simoleon, Pete?
Where's the simoleon, Mansley? For the bank, I want
to live. Man. Well,
where's Bigfoot, Mansley?
Ooh, perfect. I was just going to say, let's talk about Bigfoot.
Okay. We're jumping around a lot, but that's fine.
That's totally fine. So, again, this is the second time I'm doing an episode on a movie with Bigfoot that happens to also have Swine and William on that episode. So, crazy how that happens. The next time you guys are together, it has to be a movie on Bigfoot.
Okay.
We'll figure that one out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
With our big feet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm only kind of joking about that. I wear a size 13 shoe.
I think
Not
all three of
pedestrian.
I think all three of us are above 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 6
I wear
exactly.
16s.
I'm 6'2".
And Ben is the tallest person I've ever met in my life.
Me too.
Fine, 6'8".
Oh,
16,
Yeah.
size 16 shoes.
size 16.
Sheesh. Do they even sell those in stores?
Not. I have only ever bought from
Especially?
Amazon.
Deb, you have to order them online. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like
Last time
packaging
Amazon,
movies.
I bought like 5 pairs of shoes and just returned like 3 of them when I was done.
Oh,
Like thank
I
God
guess
for
you just
easy
have it in
Amazon
stock.
returns.
because like if you have to especially order at that point. And it's like, well, what if like they like actually like tear or break in a bad way?
Yeah.
So you gotta wait
it's not
for-
perfect, but yeah.
because like it's not a very common size, so it's like I get it. You wouldn't really be able to sell that at Walmart. Like
Yeah,
size 14's already pushing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 14, 15s. Yeah, there's like 16s definitely another cutoff, and like bigger than 16s are borderline impossible to find.
I mean, it's okay because you
I
can
think-
just go to the next store in the next town over. You could just take one step to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I'm a famous NBA player, so I can just special order my shoes.
Ah.
That's actually
okay.
a thing with people of like you are an NBA player. You can buy like extra stock of NBA players like specially ordered shoes. Like just like they'll just show up sometimes.
I feel like that's a
Clearly,
thing.
you're
yeah.
not an NBA player.
Yeah.
Clearly, you haven't starred in the Space Jam movie.
Clearly, you don't
Yeah,
have a
got
size
me.
14 air fryer.
Well, anyway, speaking
Yeah,
of
got
Bigfoot,
Big feet.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, big feet.
I can't
Can you
believe
step out?
Bigfoot's a
You know what they
main
say about
character.
Bigfoot?
What do they say about
You know what they
Bigfoot?
say? Big feet.
Oh. Oh.
Could you step
You know what
back
they say
and
about
get
big
Mr.
feet?
Foot? I like how Max is totally freaking out about it,
Yeah.
but Goofy just like without like doesn't even question it. Could just step out of frame, Mr. Foot. You're out of focus.
It totally rules that Bigfoot's a character in this movie.
Yeah.
And what's great is
Yeah, we complete.
what's great is that during the documentary you get to see footage of Frank Welker doing the Bigfoot noises, and I never thought I'd be able to see that like actually happening. It was honestly magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because like all the motions he's doing in the booth,
Yeah.
the way you have to actually get those sound effects. Because like you
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
like, some of that is just like added in post, but like he's fucking just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the facial expressions are crazy.
You also get to see like the character sheets for Bigfoot, like the 360 view. and everything.
Yeah.
Each individual
Mhm.
tooth is numbered. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
'Cause, I mean that matters.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. It's like,
just like the animation as a whole in this movie is also just very good because like it's not quite the feature. It's not quite like Lion King levels.
No.
But, like it's still definitely theatrical quality.
Oh yeah, definitely.
for sure.
And that was like an interesting thing. Like a point they raised, like the reason the movie was made in the first place is that Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, okay, we want an A unit and a B unit. We want a group to make cheaper movies that can still make us good money, which in theory isn't a bad idea. It didn't quite work out that way, but like that's a good idea on paper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like you have your B unit, and that was what Goofy movie was.
And it kind of does like reappear with like that probably like translates into the direct to DVD, direct to VHS Disney movies that end up coming. Like, this
Yeah.
is a higher budget than most of those.
Well, this actually went to
Um,
theaters.
Yeah, this one actually went to theaters.
I would argue that Extremely Goofy movie is a step up from most of those too in animation quality.
Oh, incredibly so. You can tell Extremely Goofy Movie is a bit of a downgrade from this, but it's
Yeah.
much higher compared to some of those sequels. Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also it might just be a scanning thing, but yeah, it is.
Sure.
It's cleaner too.
Yeah.
Which they might just need to do a rescan of this movie. I'm
I just-
not exactly sure. how that
Whenever I think of a Goofy movie, like the first one, I think a lot of the scenes have a better atmosphere than they do in Extremely Goofy Movie. Not to
Yeah, I
insult
agree.
Extremely Goofy Movie, but I just prefer the atmospheric like colors, like the campground, like literally when they meet Bigfoot, the orange in the sky, like that's what I think of when I think of a Goofy movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also more varied locations, so you can do a
Right.
whole lot more of that.
Ex-
Whereas in
yeah.
Extremely Goofy movie, you are at Max's house, you're at the toy factory, and you're at the college.
And you're at college, yeah.
In a skate park. Brought to you by ESPN 2.
Hey, can you guess what Disney bought in the late 90s?
I can't even imagine.
4 letters. And a number. That's tough.
Big Chungus Big.
Yes.
Could you step back up, Mr. Chungus? You gotta focus. Step back. I'm going fish on my son Max.
That'll hold him all right.
How fish is speaking there, a goof. Your son ain't having too much fun there. Yeah.
Rest and relaxation.
Yeah. You check the map, goof. Yeah. You're going to LA, pal. Confidentially between us, you're going to LA, pal.
It's like you took a long turn at Albuquerque and ended up in LA.
That is like one thing. Like we noted this in like the Discord, but we haven't brought it up yet. So when they're first going on the road trip, when Goofy first Charles and Max go on the road trip, they pull out the map to show the route to Lake Destiny. If you look at the map, there's actually an error on it that the arrow to LA is already there.
Yeah. I never noticed that until you pointed that out. I'm like,
because it's on screen for 5 seconds, and you're not supposed to be looking at that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But when you've seen the movie as many times as us, and you notice that,
and when you're specifically pausing it to look at details,
right now we'll never unsee it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even looking for that.
Along.
I was looking to see where their route starts, so we can figure out, hey, where does Goofy live?
Right, and
we
and like it's not a 1-1 map of America's. Like it's a little squiggly and a little rough.
Yeah,
but like from what I can tell, approximately they live somewhere in the middle of West Virginia.
This doesn't exactly track. I don't know. I feel like you could tell if you were living in West Virginia. It's a pretty unique. Pretty unique ecosystem. Like,
because I would have either guessed either Pennsylvania or Ohio, but West Virginia.
I mean, I would have like just on the premise of a cross country road trip. I would just assume you're starting at one of the coasts, so I would have assumed like New Jersey or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Looking at it, I don't know. It seems to be north of the Ohio River, so. Maybe a couple of
it's like Tennessee right underneath where the route starts, though, isn't it?
I don't know. There's a circle north of the Ohio River, right to the left of where it says "Please don't go this way." Like over Pennsylvania.
Oh, you know what?
Don't go to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
whatever
you know
do.
What? That circle's where I thought the route started.
Yeah, I thought that's where I thought that's the circle where it started.
Isn't like the shape of like the state that they're in kind of like West Virginia's shape?
I think it's more like because it's north of the Ohio River and south of Lake Erie. That's Ohio. We got a couple of Ohio Rizzlers on our hands. Going cross country.
What lines are rivers here? It's a very squiggly. It's very squiggly.
There's a circle due left. I don't know. I feel like there's a. Like crossing through the P and please, I feel like is the edge of Pennsylvania.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see what you're saying. Okay, so I'm looking at it. There's an X,
and there's like a hook shape above the P. I would say that's the bottom of Lake Erie.
Yeah. Please don't go this way. That's what that says on the map. It says please don't go this way. So because he's specifically saying do not go east.
Whatever you do, don't go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, stay out of Pennsylvania.
You know what? I feel like that hook is what I thought Ohio was.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's
Erie.
That's probably Erie. So okay, so I guess West Virginia.
Well, then where's
West
Virginia?
I guess it doesn't exist. I guess Virginia.
Maybe West Virginia and Ohio are the same state.
This is
yeah.
West
this
Ohio.
Is also reality where West Virginia and Virginia never split.
Yeah, it was always just Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia. We live in Virginia. Which one? Yes.
Yes.
That joke doesn't even work because Virginia is just a state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no North Virginia.
Okay,
there's a North Carolina, but not a Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a North
There's
Dakota.
a
but not a
Carolina
Where the
Dakota.
football
fuck
team.
is South Carolina? We have to go to South North Carolina. The crawdads need us.
That's not how it works.
Max, we're gonna fall on the Lake Pontchartrain. Oh yeah! Goofy Max from the fucking-
Max.
We gotta go to the drive across the Causeway Bridge.
Bendigo.
I want to see the part of the lead scene where Max and Goofy drive across the Causeway Bridge.
Mm.
You know how long the Causeway Bridge is?
I looked up the Causeway Bridge, and it's some bridge in England. What are you talking about?
Maybe the Courseway Bridge then?
Courseway Bridge. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
You'd probably blow it up.
No, it's the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway.
Causeway Bridge.
It's
The U.S. Causeway. No, wait. Yes, Pontchartrain. Hold on. Okay, the longest bridge in the world over water. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, it's 23.83 miles long.
24 miles Lake Pontchartrain. It has spectacular views and offers you an opportunity to decompress and relax. Even though you're literally 24 miles, you're just over water for 24 miles. I'm not going to relax over that.
Yeah, it's like there's like a famous photo of horror director Lucio Fulci when he was filming The Beyond of him sitting on the lawn chair on that bridge. And it's just like haunting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, where is this again? Lake Ponch.
It's near New Orleans.
New Orleans,
okay.
got it.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Ruddick.
I'll post the picture of Lucio Fulci.
Yeah, this I gotta see.
Look at the little guy.
That rules.
And it's because there's an actual shot in the movie that's on the Pontchartrain, the Causeway Bridge.
It's reminding me of the bridge in True Lies, but that's a bridge in Florida. Because it's like the bridge that connects like the Keys, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that I haven't seen True Lies in literally over a decade, so I don't remember if it actually takes place in Florida.
Just imagine they go to Goofy next door to New Orleans, and they just drive across the Causeway Bridge.
Yeah.
And Max just goes insane listening to fucking and Put a Smile on Your Face song or whatever it was.
He's got high hopes.
He's got high apple pie. He's got. Yeah, what would be other landmarks Goofy and Max could have visited?
Yeah, because they don't visit landmarks specifically. They visit. I mean,
the general ideas of various places.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They see that mime like they're like
That-
Paris.
yeah, that seemed very New
They
Orleans.
kill the mime.
The when they kill the mime, yeah, that seemed like a very New
Yeah.
Orleans kind of town.
Or Vegas.
Yeah.
I
that
guess
pass.
Vegas. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed more like Nolans to me, but I guess Vegas theoretically it
We're
could have
going
been
to
too.
Waxy. We're going to New Orleans. It's pronounced New Orleans. Norland, Dad.
Say it again.
Fantastic. I'm going to pronounce New Orleans every possible way.
Sure. You gotta say Nolans, New Orleans.
New Orleans. We gotta go down to the shore and on the way to New Orleans.
Go down to the bayou.
Hey yo, Crawdaddy, we're going down to the bayou. We're going down to Nolans.
Maxie, look, I got you a Po Daddy.
Oh, fucking po' boys, dude. I could go for a po' boy.
Why don't they make Po girls?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh man.
You don't eat the Po girl. You sit down and listen.
What's it saying? Sizzle, 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 sizzle.
You fried chicken?
No, frying shrimp.
I thought the shrimp fried the rice.
Boy, you frying rice in there.
You imagine if Foghorn Leghorn was on the road trip with them.
Boy, why
It's
are
like-
you taking him to Lester's
It's
Possum
like-
Park?
It's like how people used to like edit the photo of like Goofy driving when he's angry at Max.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
other characters in there. You just have like a pissed off Foghorn Leghorn in there. Boy, I said, boy, I told you he was taking you to LA. You didn't listen. I told you to check the map, goof. You didn't check the map.
Boy, I said, boy, we heading to LA. We should be heading to Lake Destiny. I say, you are no good.
And it's like, go. I said, boy, you saw that junction yourself. It said Idaho that way. And you didn't listen.
You listen to your boy.
And like, granted, I feel like because at that point, Goofy has seen the map and he knows the jig is up. So like, at that point, he's just doing it to give Max the chance to do the right thing by him.
That's a great scene. Yes, that's not only is it great because I love Max's little sly smile to try and get him to try and gauge Goofy's feelings, and Goofy is just so emptied and so betrayed by his son that he can't even muster a pity smile. He just goes, it's brutal, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it leads to, all right, Max, you're gonna make the right decision here. Which Max doesn't. He goes left, causing them to head left.
Right, Max, this is right or left?
Yeah.
Which way, Max?
Yeah. Yeah, the very famous American junction where you either go to California or Idaho.
Which I guess that means they're in Utah at that point.
Yeah, vaguely. I mean, this junction, I would bet good money this junction doesn't
not
exist.
Real.
Yeah.
There's still like what, entire Arizona or something in there, or Nevada.
Yeah, Utah.
Maybe they're in Vegas or something.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of roads in this country. It could theoretically exist.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd love to see if there's actually a junction somewhere that says you can either go to California or Idaho. I'm sure.
I mean, like I've seen like signs like give you like the vague direction of other states. Like I've seen signs that say New York, 90 miles or some shit. It's like, I mean, sure, I guess that's helpful enough.
No, see, something that bothered me the last time I drove in the Pennsylvania area, I was going 84, and I was in Connecticut on 84, Route 84, and it bothered me because it said, "Oh, take Route 84 to go to Boston," and I'm like, okay, but I get to the end of 84 because 84 ends in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, which is in Western Massachusetts. Nowhere near Boston. It's like, okay, so you just lied.
Liars.
84 does not go to Boston. Why are you lying?
It's just the vague direction of where the state is.
Yes,
you know Boston.
Yeah, I do know Boston.
Because like, okay, you could get to Idaho from Utah and Nevada. You can get so like maybe they're because look where they're coming at it. They would either have to be in Utah, Arizona, or Wyoming.
Yes.
Yeah. I think realistically it'd probably be like closest to like, I don't know, Las Vegas would probably be. But yeah,
I guess like they could be in like the lower parts of Nevada.
And yeah, like what there's really nothing in northern Nevada. It's just the Las Vegas and everything.
It's Las Vegas down south, and Reno is somewhere, I guess.
It's it's more western, I would say. I don't know.
And then there's just a bunch of military bases.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
with aliens.
Eastern Oregon's trying to join Idaho, so Idaho's that much bigger. I think so maybe there will be a highway up to Idaho someday.
Maybe. Someday we'll have access to Idaho.
Idaho isn't real. I'm sorry.
You thought Wyoming wasn't real? No.
Yeah, those potatoes just spawn in the back of McDonald's. I don't know what to tell you. Five Guys has been lying to us about where those potatoes come from.
I can't believe it. Five Guys would lie to me.
It's like big potatoes.
Next you're gonna tell me there's not Five Guys in the back of Five Guys.
You know, more often for me, it's like 3 women are there and 2 guys.
Yeah.
Which means it's each their own. You're not making assumptions, are you, William?
I mean, I assume my burger is going to be good.
Yeah, because it's Five Guys. Five Guys is delicious.
I've never had one of their hot dogs, but also, why the fuck would I order one of their hot dogs?
Yeah, why are you going to Five Guys and being like, 1 hot dog, please, sir?
I mean, I guess like I would get one if I'm already getting the burger.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much a Five Guys hot dog would cost.
Well, I mean, that's also the other thing. It's like, well, because like now we putting that much on like you put like relish and shit on it. I guess.
Yeah. I'm a classic boy. I go mustard.
Like, but yeah, it's like all you're putting on is like mustard, maybe ketchup, maybe relish.
Is mine some?
Yeah, I guess.
Sweet Cincinnati chili.
You could use some celery
cheddar
salt.
cheese.
You guys ever had celery salt on a hot dog? Pretty good.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys want to put Old Bay on a hot dog?
Now you're getting spicy there,
hold
William.
Hold up.
How white is
Next
it that
episode? We'll eat.
How white is it that you called Old Bay spicy?
No, I'm not talking spicy in the literal sense. I'm saying spicy.
Yeah,
in the...
cooking here. We're.
I'm not that white. I actually like spicy food. Okay.
I'm aware.
But they don't. I'm telling the audience. I'm not that kind of white.
He says, holding a glass of milk to cool off after having a little piece of ghost pepper cheese.
Guys, you gotta believe it. Goofy movie is an icon of black culture. They told us that in we're hip. We're hip.
Oh yeah, this was an episode of Goofy Movie.
No, it was an episode of the Pontchartrain Causeway Bridge.
Oh yeah.
Would you take a step back, Mr. Foghorn Leghorn? You're out of focus.
Could you step back, Mr. Causeway Bridge? You're out of focus.
Look, Goof, as long as you know that the Causeway Bridge is the longest bridge over water in the world, you'll survive. Oh no, PJ fell on the Causeway Bridge.
No.
PJ.
PJ said in Lake Pontchartrain. What horrors await in Lake Pontchartrain? The Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
Scrumptious.
Bobby just drinks all of Lake Pontchartrain.
Slurpage.
Hey, Mazer!
Pete jumps into Lake Pontchartrain and just loses half the water. They always fill these things with too much water in these things. You like the video, like when Pete finds him at the hotel, he just busts anybody. This time he has actual guns.
We've got the place surrounded, see? You goofs come out with your hands up!
I always think of the Sylvanator edit. He did the YouTube poop on the movie where he hears the knocking on the door and he edits Pete to say somebody in the way that and then he bursts through
like Shrek,
Shrek.
Somebody
Told me. It's so fucking funny.
There's that with the Uzis. There's Max. Like, they're not gonna laugh anymore. They're
not gonna laugh anymore.
He has like the guns. Yeah, one I just say Uzi in his hand.
Like a year or so ago, they made a Goofy movie, Nendoroid of Max, and like they straight up gave him the finger gun hands and the sunglasses to recreate specifically that pose from the movie.
That rules.
Perfect.
So, of course, remind that's supposed to have him in.
Yeah, of course.
And they're not gonna laugh anymore. I have the wrong pumped up kicks, Max. What are you gonna do?
Faster than my bullet.
Busted.
Hey, it's the Goof Kid.
I'm so glad you get to see Bobby Moore in an extremely goofy movie.
I know, yeah. I'm glad that they kept the characters consistent. Like, he's still friends with them. And I'm glad it's still Pauly Shore. Like, Pauly Shore wasn't doing anything else in 2000. They're like, hey, you want to voice Robert? You want to voice Bobby? He's like, yes.
Slurpage.
I could use more slurpage.
That's deep.
He kind of gets to do that again when he eats the nachos at the dance club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. Did we finish talking about Bigfoot? That was so long ago. I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I talked about it. I love that he's like completely out of it. Like it it's scenes like that make it's still a Goofy movie. Like it's still like wacky hijinks.
Yes.
Bigfoot just shows up out of nowhere.
Right.
It's like it's the kind of thing that like sets still the Goofy tone. But yeah, it's lovely. He's out of nowhere. He's just sitting there like eating a branch, like not even like leaves, just like a plank of wood, just chewing on it.
And he sees the steak that accidentally
Yeah.
got caught in the fish hook, and he's like, "Sweet." I
caught in the fish.
yeah, that's it's a great moment. I like when
It's Bigfoot. Shroom! You're supposed to see PJ again.
Yeah. I like the moment when it's like hours later and they're like, "Is he still there?" And he just sock puppets.
Yeah.
Sock puppets.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you love it. Like it's annoying Goofy. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like it's something so ridiculous. Even like Goofy's like pissed off.
'Cause
Like
Bigfoot
it
is
finally
just
gets some
fucking
like
with
common
them.
ground, and like yeah, that leads into like I guess so we can get like the Hi Dad scene. That's a great one.
That's a great
Yeah, it's
one.
like-
Ah, that's soup.
Yeah, Hi Dad Soup.
Yeah, like
I pledge allegiance.
Or I love you. So I've always liked this scene. Obviously, it's a very good scene because it's great because it's the first time Max isn't sulking during the vacation. Like it's a time for them to actually bond and actually talk with one another. And I love the moment in the documentary where it shows Kevin Lima actually describing what he wants for that scene, because that's something that's been brought up in the documentary, how he had to film himself kind of explaining a lot of what he wanted out of the animators because the animators were in France and Australia.
There's animators, all over the world, so it's like you have to show them this information,
Mm-hmm.
which also goes to like the Powerline performances. Like they had to they actually had to get a dancer in real life to do the dance. They could film him, so they knew what to do as used as reference material. Which, yeah, that is what you have to do to get the exact motions down.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to choreograph that whole dance and then film it in each and every individual shot that you want from the film. So you probably have to like look at storyboards too for that. And then you have to like cut it up, edit that video, and then use that as a reference material to do the actual animation.
Mm-hmm. And give him credit for not doing what the extremely Goofy movie did, and just rotoscoping dance moves.
Mm.
And I call that out a little early.
That's
Get back to
okay.
it later.
But I love that moment in the documentary because Kevin Lima genuinely looks like he's about to cry explaining it,
Yeah.
which shows you how strong the emotions are in that scene when the fucking director who wrote it is kind of powering through tears. The fact that he has to like explain this, because it is a very nice scene, all things considered. It's definitely, besides the climax, one of the big emotional highlights of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it leads directly into like the map comes out and Max changes the route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then it's a
Which-
great setup for that moment too.
Which, just like a note to add too, is that like immediately after that scene is the moment in the diner where Goofy gives him the map anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even have to go through with it in the end because Goofy was going to give him the map regardless.
Right, which kind of adds to his guilt.
Because
Yeah.
like, damn, I didn't even need to, so I kind of deceived him for no real reason now. But at least now they're bonding, and then you get the sense that maybe at that point he forgot that he even did it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like. Yeah, it's all like Max's whole morality like conflict because it starts out he lied to Roxanne about going to the Powerline concert.
But yeah,
and
we never
and
even actually talked about the why. They're
Oh,
on the road
Roxanne,
trip in the
yeah,
first place.
Roxanne's here too.
Put on
Yeah,
the
we kind
red
of
light.
skipped over the entire inciting incident conflict.
We pulled an extremely Goofy movie and forgot that Roxanne was in this one.
Okay, okay. So everyone like points out like Roxanne's not in there anymore. They forgot. It's like, okay, to be fair, you probably aren't still dating the person in college. You probably still aren't dating the same person you were when you were 14.
Yeah, it's a little too real.
To be fair, now granted, House of Mouse they bring
That's how
Roxanne
high
back,
school works. Yeah,
but that was also probably because people complained.
Enough people complained that Disney
That
was
they
willing to
decided,
listen.
Fine, we'll make
Yeah.
a House of Mouse episode where Max and Roxanne go on a date as adults.
Yeah.
reunited.
Which
It feels
someone
so
made a
good.
good point about that, where like damn, Max went through all this to try to live his own life and get away from his dad, only to have to end up working at a valet at the same club that his dad works at because he's friends with because of the weird friend.
Yeah. I mean, at least he has a job.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, you're a valet. I guess a valet probably wouldn't pay that well, even if you're in, like, Hollywood celebrities.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, the inciting incident is that Max feels like he finally has a chance to impress Roxanne, and so, but because he pulled that stunt at the assembly, Goofy fears that, you know, he's going down the wrong path, so he says, "Oh, we'll do a road trip together." And so then Max has to say, Roxanne,
the electric chair.
Yeah. Oh, first off, this is the movie.
Chair.
This is the movie that introduced me to what an electric chair is. I thought,
Oh yeah.
I used to think a chair that runs on electricity, and then I had to look it up. Be like, oh, they execute you. We're busted.
Hey, Hal, is your
The
chair running?
You go to the chair that kills you.
Pretty much. I'm
Put on
surprised.
this chair to die instantly.
Yeah, that's literally what it was, and I thought that can't be what it is. At 7 years old, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's the funny hat that's attached to the chair that kills you.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, so then Max has to admit to her, hey, you know, I can't go to the Stacy's party with you, and she's kind of walking away, and he doesn't want that. He doesn't want this, so he just lies and says, "I'm actually going to the Powerline concert. I'll wave to you from the TV." It's like,
I'm
uh-oh.
gonna be there. My dad's friends with him.
Yeah.
And like, okay, we should make a note that, like, the whole conflict between Max and Goofy, it goes both ways, because, like, Max isn't explaining anything to Goofy, but Goofy also isn't explaining anything to Max either.
Right, exactly.
Because they're both stuck in their ways. That's like, Goofy's like, well, this is what me and my dad did, and I turned out fine, so that means it's the right thing to do.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, we obviously know what Max is going through at that point.
Right. And yeah, he doesn't feel like he can explain it to his dad.
And, like, normally, like, when it's like a case of the whole problem could be solved, you two would just talk to each other, it's like, normally that's a bit of a contrivance, but here it's literally the plot of the movie,
Yeah.
and is a lesson that the characters have to learn, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and even then, the typical "you lied to me" scene isn't played out exactly like that, where you have characters going, "You lied to me," like they actually.
Goofy already knows at that point.
Goofy already knows, and he's giving him the silent treatment, and it is petty, but you understand why, because he was lied to by his son.
Well, he also gave him the chance, to do the right thing,
and he didn't.
And Max panics and still goes through with his plan,
right?
Even though he doesn't actually really have an actual concrete plan for how he's getting out of this, because at no point does Max ever actually know how they're getting to the concert in the first place.
Yeah.
And Goofy, like, once Goofy, like, is okay with it, he's like, "No, you'll leave that to me."
Yeah.
And it just kind of happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it just works out.
Yeah.
But, like, still, it's like, Max doesn't actually have a plan for any of this.
What do you mean we're in Los Angeles? We were going to Idaho, Maxie.
I mean, I guess if the plan could have been, and if he had gotten Goofy to LA without him finding out, and they did the concert, and then he went to Idaho, maybe, but, like, well, it's never actually established that was at all the plan.
Yeah, no, but plus that's always kind of how I took it. I'm like, why can't they just do both? Like, there's no reason they can't do both. But again, that's not.
They have to talk it out.
Right, they have to talk it out first. Yeah, and they do. They do.
When they're at
it's also just
waterfall.
I think
waterfall.
And the fact that, like, Pete's also edging on, like, that Pete is validated by this.
Oh, no.
A lot of Pete's edging. No, but yeah, the fact that, like, Max is lying is, like, validating what Pete said, because, like, Goofy stood up for Max, and then Pete's proven right. So, because obviously, like, Goofy is letting Max, like, do the directions, and, like, but yeah, it's the fact that, okay, like, I think the fact that Pete makes it a point of contention with Goofy is what makes it that much more serious.
Yes.
Well, like,
makes Goofy react to it the way he does.
They got the hot tub. Goofy, like, Pete tells Goofy that this is what happened. Goofy doesn't believe him. He gets in the car. The map falls out. He looks. Pete was right and he's demoralized.
Yeah.
The map, goof.
I like that we don't
Like-
actually see him check the map. The map kind of comes out of the glove compartment, and then it cuts to him walking into the hotel room, and his face of abject betrayal says it all.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah, and PJ.
you know he
just,
saw
yeah,
it and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the jig is up.
Yeah.
Which like jumping back, can we talk about the perfect cast?
The perfect cast.
Sure.
So it's like
Does
at the
this
beginning
movie
of the
have
road
the
trip.
perfect cast?
So at the beginning, well, it does have a good
Yes.
cast, yes,
Yeah.
but like, so at the beginning of the road trip, like Goofy like hypes up that he's gonna give Max something special, and it's the fishing rod that he had been lending down from generation to generation. And then when they're actually like at the Bigfoot Lake, when he tries Pete's strategy of forcing to do the thing, he introduces the perfect cast, which is a thing that all the goofs did to go fishing. And at that point in time, because Max is not having any of it, he's not listening, he does not care. But then, when they're in trouble, without even thinking, Max does the perfect cast with that fishing rod to save Goofy's life. And in that moment, it shows he still listened deep down anyway.
Mm.
And it's like, you see Max using the perfect cast the way to save his dad, in the sense that way that he would have wanted him to use it.
Mhm.
And then at the concert, Max tells Goofy to do the perfect cast as a dance move, recontextualizing it. And now Max is no longer embarrassed by it. He's now using it to telling us how to do it as a dance move, because now he's happy, okay with it. He's proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this movie
Yeah,
just so good?
Yeah.
That
I love
rules.
that they don't like overdwell. They don't oversell it. They
No.
just like,
Don't dwell on it at
oh
all.
yeah,
It's
you
just
know what the
happen.
perfect cast is. Let's just, yeah, we can like bring it up. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to like oversell. Oh, like he's got like Max doesn't have to like overthink it. Like, oh, that work is like, oh, the perfect cast. This like, and he just does it.
Mhm.
And he just like, Goofy, do the perfect cast on the dance stage. He doesn't have to, again, doesn't overthink it. He just like, it's already there, and we know, the audience knows what he's talking about. Max knows that this is gonna work, and yeah, it's kind of rewarding to the audience, because you've gone on this adventure with them, and you've kind of like learned to say, like, you've gone on the same journey as Max, and you see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And again, it's a confirmation the lesson has been learned and they're applying it.
Yeah,
But I just feel like the perfect cast is one of like those big thematic things in the movie that just works so well.
Oh, absolutely.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Dad, do the perfect cast. Okay, Steve Martin.
Go Steve Martin.
Huh.
Yeah, that's like a funny bit in the documentary where
Yeah.
Jeffrey like it shows like the whole how a studio executive can ruin a movie if they're not pushed back against.
Mhm.
How at one point he's like, let's get Steve Martin to voice Goofy, and no, he just uses a normal voice. So like Kevin's like, okay, this is a terrible idea. We need to prove to him it's a terrible idea. Bill, use your regular speaking voice for a couple sessions. And like it,
Yeah.
apparently that just completely destroyed Bill emotionally. He has a
Yeah.
breakdown. And it's just like the wonderful image of him lying in bed, thinking to himself, "Don't they want to hear Goofy in a Goofy movie?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
like,
Oh, so-
Damn, they just
Yeah.
completely demoralized Bill Farmer. Holy shit!
yeah.
It totally
I-
rules. But what I like about that moment too is that they even bring it up. Okay, what's great about that, the fact that we had to do it in the normal voice, is then we had to look at the character from a different perspective, where we realized maybe this has been a little too goofy. We do need
Mhm.
some of that heart in there. And so they told Bill, hey, apply a little bit of that kind of your regular voice into that. Not too
Yeah.
far that it's unrecognizable and takes away from the humor, but just enough that it definitely sells the heart. So
The documentary largely does kind of play up Katzenberg as a bit of a villain.
yeah,
Because studio executive, but they do give him credit where it is due, and like they make a point pointing out that at that first meeting when he says anyone can do this, anyone can do a bunch of gags, show me the heart of the film.
right, yeah.
And they agree that like
Yeah.
that was the correct play. Katzenberg did at least know what he was doing there.
Right, exactly. Because
Mhm.
that's the heart is the reason a Goofy movie is still talked about 30 years later. Obviously everything about it works, and that's why we still love it to this day. But I feel like the fact that it's this cult hit that people 30 years later are trying to go back on it and be like, actually, this movie rules. It's because of that heart, like that genuine father-son bond that's in there, you know. And again, yeah, that wouldn't have been there in the first place had Katzenberg not said anything.
Yeah. Well, that's also like the whole cult status thing. Like they make a point of like going at the end of the documentary saying that at this point it really isn't even a cult hit anymore.
Right.
That like people wanted it to be a Disney classic. Well, they voted. It is a Disney classic.
I like that moment. I like that because as somebody who hates hearing the word underrated used in too many movies when it doesn't apply, that was not intentional. I
feel like Goofy Movie was underrated.
Yes.
But then the moment it started getting merchandise at Hot Topic was when it became rated.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and
I could walk into Target any other day and find a Powerline t-shirt. I think we made it.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And
which is the part of the documentary.
Yeah, I love the way they said that. We voted. It's like, yeah, we did. This actually applies. People did. So now 30 years later, we see it as a classic. We like it more than Pocahontas, the big Disney release of 1995. So
like, they didn't even mention Pocahontas once during that documentary.
I mean, they cut to it for like a little bit, but you know, not to make a point.
Like, it being in production at the same time as Lion King,
right? Because I think Lion King was the bigger hit at the time. Even the
yes, it was the biggest hit at that time.
It was the biggest hit. Yeah. So of course, when Pocahontas underperformed, nobody really cared because hey, we still made Lion King. That's the bigger score there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Lion King, they just made so much money off of Lion King. Like, hell, I wouldn't be shocked if Lion King was still in theaters in some places at that point.
It absolutely was. I think I mentioned this because they talked about how Goofy Movie went up in theaters the same weekend as Bad Boys and Tommy Boy. And it was number 2. It beat out Tommy Boy, but
also Bad Boys made twice as much.
Bad Boys made twice as much. Power of Will Smith, baby. So, yeah, of course, at that time, Bad Boys was the bigger hit. But I think I remember you looked up an image from the box office that week, and it said Bad Boys, Goofy Movie, Tommy Boy, and then like down in number 10 or 11 spot is Lion King. It's like, well, duh.
Yeah, and like Lion King, at that point we see what Lion King is.
Or maybe it was a different 94 release. I know I saw Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction.
Maybe it was somewhere else we were looking at.
Right, yeah. But I mean,
it's like
I wouldn't be surprised if Lion King was still
Forrest
in theaters.
Gump, week 40 made over 1,700,000.
I mean, yeah, Forrest Gump. It was kind of a big movie too at that time.
Yeah, what was in theaters in that weekend? Bad Boys, Goofy Movie, Tommy Boy, Don Juan, DeMarco, Outbreak, Circle of Friends, Dolores Claiborne, Major Payne, Rob Roy, Muriel's Wedding, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Man of the House, Born to Be Wild, Tank Girl.
Yeah, the best movies from that are from 94. Well, besides Goofy Movie. Goofy Movie obviously rules.
Pulp Fiction on its 26th week.
Yeah.
Hey, Tank Girl went up 22%.
Ah.
Actually, no, it didn't.
Oh.
Wait, it was plus 22 in the ranking, I guess.
I mean, Tank Girl, man.
It was best movie ever made, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree with us, Hal.
No, I'm a Tommy Boy through and through.
Fair enough.
4K recently.
Yeah.
Tank Girl or Tommy Boy?
Tommy Boy.
Oh, nice.
I think
Tank Girl would get an aerial 4K in like a year or two from now.
Oh, the Tank Girl 4K is inevitable. Don't you worry.
It'll happen, and it's gonna have like really cool comic book artwork in a hardbox case. It'll be a big bound booklet.
Oh, it's gonna
look writings on the film.
It's gonna look awesome. You're gonna be like, wow, I really want to watch this, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh, this isn't that good as I remember it.
You imply that I've watched Tank Girl before.
I've watched the Nostalgia Critic review. That's the only thing from Tank Girl I'm going off of.
When they went to the cave that they go to in Goofy Movie is called Carl's Butt Caverns.
He said butt.
Yeah, there's like the dude in the back of the car and during out on the open road who's all tied up and has cement shoes on.
Yeah.
That guy is going to fucking die and he's happily singing along.
What a great joke for a kid's movie.
A lot of murder in this movie, honestly. They kill the mime.
Yeah.
The
mime.
Okay, I have like in the Discord I have the comparison between an actual US map and the map that they have. Hang on. We're gonna solve
Let's
this
finish that.
mystery.
We're gonna go back to the map mystery. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There's this,
Click on
the
that.
security guard at the Powerline concert. He gets electrocuted. Breaks a very expensive display screen.
Is that not West Virginia on the map?
Look, I agree. It
I
looks
think
like
the
West
Virginia
Virginia.
is where it says DON, like the Don. I think that's.
Wouldn't that be normal Virginia? Wouldn't that just be normal Virginia?
That's what I'm more. So okay, so I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up on the episode. Okay, so let's see. So we have please
I think
no,
that's West Virginia.
please don't go this way. Please no, don't go this way. All right, so we have the little dot right here. It's okay.
Roads, take me home.
All right, so it starts here. It's above what looks like Kentucky. We have Tennessee right there. We have Indiana right here. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Ben on this one. I think the P is overlapping into what I can assume is one of the Great Lakes. What's the lake above Ohio?
Erie.
So that would be Lake Erie. It's really hard.
But hear me out though.
Okay.
Take me home, country roads.
I can't argue with that.
To the place
I belong.
West
Virginia.
Mountain Mama, Mountain Maxie, take me home, country roads.
Gorge.
Well,
You can't argue with that now, can you?
I'm still Team Ohio. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
You
Team.
fucking skibbity teenagers.
Yeah. Goofy and Max got the Ohio Riz.
Oh, I'm sorry, Max. Who was he anyway? It was only the Rizzler dad. The best meme ever. Skibbity.
Look, the Rizzler is not that powerful if he can't impress Elaine. So.
The Rizzler pulls up the Powerline concert in the crystal ball. Like you just see like the image of him like and when Goofy is in the ball
Yeah.
and it explodes. It makes one big boom.
You do make a good point, William. They do live in the cum zone, somewhere in there.
They live in the cum zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's somewhere between Mexico, United States, and Canada. They live in there.
They definitely live in the cum zone.
Yeah. Isn't America as a whole the cum zone?
I mean, how else did we get here if not cum?
The world is cum.
The world is a cumpire.
We came and we went.
Despite
Now,
all my
Max,
rage,
it's
I
time
am
for you to
still
learn
just a
about the
cum in
birds
a
and the
cage.
Maxie, it's time to learn about the birds and the bees. Now here's this banana I'm going to use to illustrate my point. And he just pulls the fucking condom over it. Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of Roxanne. Because Roxanne is also over when Goofy's doing this.
Oh, God.
Maxie, your dad doesn't just have sex. Your dad fucks.
I like to believe it's Fucks.
He yucks.
Oh, boy.
Oh
That
my
fucking
God.
comic. What was the context of that comic again?
I don't remember. It was just
Was
Max.
there context?
There was like Max complaining about something, and Goofy just goes, "Your dad fucks." It's like, oh, okay. I'm
pulling it up.
I'm also thinking of the one, the ever classic, "Damn bitch, you live like this." Like that, that will never get old. That is
I
funny
love that
every time.
Okay, I found a dub of the comic. No, that's just the one panel. Hang on. I think it's time we gotta talk about the birds and the bees. Oh God, no. What's wrong, Maxie? I just don't think you're the right person to talk to. This kind of thing. You'll think I don't know about sex? How do you think you were conceived, silly? I guess I would just hope it was some kind of test tube situation. I know I come off as silly and oblivious.
He said come.
I have the same urges as anyone else. These primal animal cravings have persisted long after your mother's passing, and to this day I yearn for the next opportunity to take pleasure in the carnal union of flesh. Your dad doesn't just have sex, Maxie. Your dad yucks. Heck, one time a condom snapped on the ding dong so hard it bounced around, landed in the back of my throat. Oh, yuck.
Oh,
I didn't know it went beyond that part. I didn't know it went beyond he fucks.
Yeah, I found the Pro ZD dub video.
Okay.
All right.
And Max is just like, at the end, he's like, I'm never going to have sex as long as I live. That's all I ask. So Goofy is in abstinence only, except for him. Nobody else can have sex but me. The Goofy harem goes hard.
Damn, bitch, you live like this?
You're a beautiful queen.
That's I will never tire of the damn bitch you live like this image. It's so funny every time.
Yeah.
Just make it the thumbnail.
All right.
You're convinced, though. We did it.
I mean, at that point, I kind of have to.
It's not hard to do.
It's not.
It's either that or West Virginia.
Oh man. Oh my god.
I'm dying on this mountain, mama.
Comment down below. Are you Team Ohio or Team West Virginia?
Yeah.
Where does Goofy and Max live?
Where all my Team Ohio boys at?
You're biased because you live there. I'm biased because West Virginia is the one with this song, and it's funny.
Yeah, you'd love us too if we had sex with our cousins.
What? You know, there's probably
That's why
someone
you
in
love West
Ohio that does
Virginia.
it. There's probably someone in Ohio who does that.
Shelbyville, Ohio.
We're too normal for you. Yeah. Bastards.
They made 5 big booms.
How about science slumber parties?
There wasn't much slumbering going on. Especially not between the cousins.
We brought it back to the Triple X Extremely Goofy movie.
We've been doing this the whole episode.
I know.
We just
said
talked
they did
about how
talk-
America's the cum zone.
Yeah.
They did talk about how this was inspired by the one director who did Breakfast Club and I saw William just watched
John
16
Hughes.
Candles. Yeah, Hughes. This movie is inspired by the Hughes films.
That was a
Hughes
cool
films.
moment when they said, yeah, we want to do more of a John Hughes kind of thing, but for the 90s.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that rules.
Yeah, like a John Hughes musical. Yeah, it's like an awesome concept.
Which that is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like there is like something to be gained from Disney trying like other types of films they haven't really tried before, like giving like a kind of popular type of film from like the 80s or 90s.
Horror.
I mean, okay, like Disney does a horror movie is like an obvious one, but like
Mhm.
Disney doing like genres and like types of stories that they haven't done and giving it a Disney twist. Like Disney does Die Hard, like Disney's Police Story.
I would absolutely love Disney's Police Story.
Like it wouldn't be literally Police
It
Story, but
kinda
like
has
a
utopia.
Disney style like Hong Kong action movie from like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I mean, because
Like,
that's the
what
thing,
would their take on that be?
right? But because
What would Disney's take on an American action film be?
yeah, I mean, because that's the thing that Kevin was bringing up, how, you know, this isn't like your typical Disney film where it's a fantasy setting. And, you know, any Disney movie up until then that was doing a contemporary style, because that's what they did with, you know, stuff like The Rescuers and Oliver and Company. And those also weren't that big a hit when they were contemporary movies where they took place in contemporary time.
Yeah.
You know, the big fantasy stuff was seen as the bigger sell. Obviously not every time, because Black Cauldron was a fantasy story, but more often than not,
And also, well, that also had like the hell of a production.
yeah, that had different
Yeah.
things. But what I'm saying is that more often than not, your Little Mermaids, your Beauty and the Beasts, your Aladdins, your Lion Kings, those were fantasy driven. Like those are absolutely, I guess Lion King is just animals, so it's not really a fantasy world,
Yeah.
but you know what I
that
mean.
could
Mhm. You got a
Lion King
monarchy.
could technically take place whenever.
Right, yeah.
Mm.
It technically could have taken place like 1,000 years ago. It also technically could have taken place a week ago.
Right. Well, they know about the great balls of gas. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Where did Pumbaa figure that out?
he thought about it.
He hung out in Greece and thought was a great theologian at the time.
Socrates makes a great point, Timon. Pumbaa, I don't want to hear about Socrates no more.
Hey, Max, you ever feel like you're pushing a boulder up the hill, but before you get to the top of the hill, it rolls back down, so you gotta go back and get it?
And, Max just Atlas shrugs.
How did they get the car back at the end of the movie? That's what I want to know. It just falls off the waterfall. They said they'll push it up the.
It got better.
It still drives.
Yeah.
It barely drives. Like
barely
they make a point of showing that as like barely holding it together, and Max and Goofy just like look demoralized at the end of that drive.
Yeah.
Like I know part of it is because he
It
has to
blows
like
up.
tell the truth to Roxanne, but also like Goofy also looks like it's like the impression of damn, that drive home must have sucked.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because they're going from California back to Ohio/West Virginia.
Believe me, yeah.
I like that. I always like that part, like that little detail of seeing the car in kind of shambles. They don't have any of their luggage anymore because they've just gone on this crazy, crazy adventure. It's a great way to end off the movie.
Because all the luggage flew away in the canyon.
Right. Off the
I can actually speak on
waterfall.
I can actually speak on this. As I mentioned in the Discord, I just came back from a extended road trip back to Ohio. From the out west,
chasing tornadoes.
And, go to my channel to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find any tornadoes?
I did see a tornado. I did. Thank God that made it worth it.
We found one. Yeah, you made a good point. Yeah, so you're coming off of a road trip. This movie makes me want to do a road trip. Like, it seems like a cool concept.
It's good, but the ride back, it's I drove like the full 14 hours. We got a flat tire.
Ooh.
It took like 2 hours to get that fixed.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't like. There's a line where Max has like, you've trapped me in this car. Like, yeah, you trapped me in this stupid car. That was at least one person I convinced to come along.
This is the
just
stupidest
hated the car by the end of the trip. But yeah, being on a road trip for that long, it wears on.
I guarantee it. Yeah. When
I imagine like the drive home is usually probably worse than the drive there.
Yeah.
Because like the drive there, you're excited for what's about to happen, whereas the drive home is like it already happened, so now it's just.
Actually, it's. I gotta make this is a unique situation, but the drive there, I didn't realize we had a truck. I rented a truck. I didn't realize it wasn't gonna have a bed cover. That's where we were gonna put all of our gear and stuff. So I had to I spent like a couple hours figuring out how the fuck we're gonna keep this, because it's also raining. It is super windy for no reason.
I think there is a reason. It's because tornado.
Yeah. There's a reason why it's windy, just uncharacteristically, unseasonably windy. I had this whole rig up with a tarp, and I having to stop the car and adjust the tarp because the tarp kept trying to blow away, and it just it literally acted as a sail on the back of the truck.
Oof.
So the way there wasn't much better. At least the way back, I had figured everything out by then. We figured out how to make it work. And we didn't lose all our luggage either, so we got that going for us.
That's good.
Actually, if you feel it, chase it.
Mr. NATO, could you move back a bit? You're out of focus.
we get the Legacy Goofy movie sequel where Max's son is voiced by Glenn Powell.
I would love that. I'm in line. I'm in line day one seeing that. Well, who are we kidding? It would be a Disney Plus exclusive. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves.
I do appreciate how Disney is going all in on Goofy movie, though. Mm-hmm. The actual literal Disney main channel on YouTube was posting all this stuff about it. They did that video when the documentary came out of just Bill Farmer and Jason Marsden in a car just talking about the production of the movie. Bill gives the whole, here's how I got the part. Here's how to do the yuck.
Yeah. And they actually recreated the car too. I couldn't believe that wasn't in the documentary. You put all that work in, and it's just ended up being it's free on YouTube.
I still gotta watch it. Yeah, I still want to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really cute.
Yeah.
They bring up how Jason Marsden is now approaching his 40, 50 years old, so he has kids now that are Max's age.
Yeah, he said he has a 15-year-old. Yeah. So yeah, he's in Goofy situation. He's Goofy now. he's Max a goof as Goofy. He's become his dad.
And like the film works like from both perspectives.
Oh yeah.
Like
Mhm.
we're at the age where like we're in between that, so it's like we see both sides of it. Like when you're younger, it's like, well, you agree with Max, even
Mhm.
like Max isn't 100% correct, but like neither of them are fully in the wrong, because like they're both pushing the wrong ways.
Yeah.
You understand where Goofy's coming from, you understand where Max is coming from, and they just need to put aside their differences and actually talk it out.
Yeah.
Which they finally do right before the waterfall.
Yeah.
I mean, because even as
waterfall.
even as a kid,
Oh, a waterfall.
even as a kid, I could see both perspectives. I was obviously more inclined to side with Max on a lot of things, but I was never like, "Oh, Goofy, you just don't understand." I was, even as a kid, I was like, "Oh, Goofy, you're trying your best, and I can see where you're coming from."
Mhm.
And because Max isn't giving him much off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a good, like I said, a great father-son relationship portrayed in this movie. It's
And,
like,
really well made.
And you do see like if Max had explained everything from the start, Goofy would have probably have been okay with it and gone along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the moment he explains about Roxanne, it's like, oh, that's why. All right, let's get you to that concert.
Yeah.
Like no second thoughts. It's just you leave that to me. We'll go there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And they
It's
go
like
there.
the moment they actually talk it out, it's like, yeah, no, solved.
Yeah, I also gotta give Max credit. Like I don't know, like Goofy wasn't really asking. Like
Yeah.
it seems like Max Max has to fight to get even to stop to talk to Roxanne before they leave.
And that's the other thing. Like neither of them are like explaining to the other, but neither of them are asking the correct questions either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like when Goofy says, "I don't want you to end up in the electric chair," and like normally at that point you would ask, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But Max doesn't even ask that.
What? Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna for the second episode in a row, I'm gonna say this. I appreciate that they don't like drag out like lie revealed or like it's like you said, Hal. Like they approach it different, but yeah, it's not like, oh, you gotta like, they're gonna come back together. Like it's, I don't know. Yeah, I guess trying to think like. Yeah, it's like I guess it's very it's appropriate. It's not like,
Mhm.
oh, I trusted you. It's like Goofy doesn't say anything, like they don't have to spell it out to you. Like Goofy's just given the silent treatment. You know exactly why Goofy feels the way he feels.
I agree. This did this did handle the lie reveal trope better than state of the art VHS tape.
Exactly.
But did it
and same with
better than state of the art VHS tape?
And same with. Moment. And same with Roxanne too. That like Roxanne's like, why would you lie? Why would you lie about that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you get it because like Max is like, I don't know how else to communicate to you like how much I want you to like me, like other than like making up this, because I don't think that you would. I don't have enough time to make you believe that I want this in the time that we have. So I'm just gonna make up something crazy, like at the spur of the moment. And like, yeah, she gets that.
And like, there's a sense of like. You also know that Roxanne does like Max, as was shown that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like even like Max gets help from his friends. Stacy's the one that pushes Roxanne to talk to Max in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy, tell her to talk to him, talk to him, baby.
Yeah, everyone loves a good platonic mutual relationship.
And then Bobby and Stacy hook up at the end.
Yeah,
just cause
it's funny.
He had that slurpage.
I guess like we talked a lot about the movie and like we talked about the documentary in association with the movie, but like is there any like bits in the documentary we want to specifically talk about? We got to talk about the dead pixel.
We got to let's talk about the dead pixel. Yeah, let's move on to that.
Brutal.
So the way they established it, like at this point in time in the 90s, they were still hand drawing all the lines and stuff, but like at that point, the films would be like digitally inked and painted, and that's where like the compositing would all happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you shoot an animated film is that you have like a camera over like where the cell would be, take a shot of each frame, and then that's how you shoot the movie for the whole thing. So for this movie, they have the camera pointing out at the screen because like at this point, because it's digital, it's literally pointing out like a big monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing that, and they're watching the movie, make sure it looks good on the big screen, that there were no errors, and eventually someone notices, hey, wait a minute, there's a dead pixel up in the top left of the screen.
Oh no.
And then there was, oh shit, oh fuck. And they check the whole reel, and there it is. The entire movie has a dead pixel on it.
No. That's the worst.
Get an L in the chat.
Yeah, like hearing that, it's like, holy shit, that sucks so
Yeah.
bad. Like I think everyone just feels that in their soul when that happens.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They have to reshoot they have to get a new monitor from Disney and then reshoot the whole movie again. But because of that, they had to delay the movie, which gave them a couple more months to work on the movie.
Which did end up... Yeah, that's what I liked about the documentary, how it would bring up these things that kind of push back and kind of make things a little more difficult. But in the long run, did help them a little bit.
It made a stronger movie.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Except for like the hurdles at the very end of the movie when Katzenberg got fired, and at that point, no one cared about the movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing that didn't work out in their favor because it just completely bombed. Although I guess even that still helped them because they made it a point to say it failed at the box office, it failed critically, and so Disney just kind of had this movie, so they were just like, just throw it on VHS, put it on Disney Channel whenever. Which
like they didn't value the movie, so they just made it available to anyone because they didn't care as much. And because of that, the VHS sold a lot better. People watched the movie a lot, which probably is what led to Extremely Goofy Movie at a certain point.
Right.
They never bring up Extremely Goofy Movie in the documentary because no one that worked on this movie besides the voice actors probably worked on that.
Right. Yeah, it didn't seem that.
So there was no reason.
It is so funny to me that that's literally what happened to Citizen Kane. Also happened to a Goofy Movie. Is that the movie didn't do well financially, so they just kind of put it away. But then because television was a thing, they started playing Citizen Kane on television. And through people watching it, just rediscovering it through home viewings, then they were like, wait, this movie actually kind of rules. And then in 1962, like 20 years after it came out, is the first time people considered it the greatest movie of all time.
Did they do like a re-release at that point?
Probably. I don't remember if they did, but I would not be surprised if they did.
Because this was still the era of when they were to do re-releases. Like they did re-releases of like older Disney movies even into the 90s.
Oh yeah. Like that's why you look at kind of the late 80s box office numbers. Peter Pan and Bambi were huge at that time.
Yeah. They re-released Song of the South in the 80s. And then never again.
Now why is that? How come they don't show Song of the South no more?
What a serendipity doodah!
What does that mean, Pete?
I mean, they use Zippity Doodah in the song and stuff besides that.
Oh, yeah, no. When I was a kid, I was in 4th grade, I was in the school play, and we did Alice in Wonderland. And one of the song numbers was Zippity Doodah. And I remember thinking, that's not an Alice in Wonderland. What is the Zippity Doodah song?
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard it, I didn't even have it here any association with any movie at all. I just assumed it was just a song.
Right.
Yeah, like kids rhyme. Whatever.
Zippity Doodah, zippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. It's like, wow, what a happy song. I wonder which movie this kid. Oh
no, it's from the boring and also racist movie
that even Disney can't release on Disney
Take
Plus.
a step back, Mr. Song of the South. You're out of focus.
You know how that movie ends?
Song of the South? No, I've never seen. I've always wanted to see it. I've never been able to.
Because it's boring.
Right, yeah.
But it's like, so like the little white kid who keeps listening to Uncle Remus's stories, he runs into like the range where like the bull is and almost gets killed by the bull. So he's unconscious, but then when Uncle Remus comes and talks to him, he wakes up and everyone's happy.
Hilarious.
The movie ends with a little kid almost getting gored by a bull.
Oh, that sounds like your favorite kind of movie.
Yeah.
It does, but unfortunately, it's Song of the South, so it's boring.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And also racist.
But at least it gave us the Brer characters.
I mean, like, I feel like to an extent, you could probably take like just like some of the Brer character shorts from the movie and put those somewhere. Not all of them,
Right.
but like you could probably get away with some of them being made available again.
I mean, they
like
literally
those
had their own ride at Disney World for years. It was Splash Mountain was their thing, and I remember going on Splash Mountain being like, "Huh, who are these Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear characters? What movie were they in?" It's like, oh,
well, Brer Bear's in Lion King 1.5 technically.
Oh yeah, he is. He's also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, like they make cameo appearances in different things.
I vaguely remember, Brer Bear's outline at the end of Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, because he's like Baloo's on one side of the screen, so they have to have him on the other side of the screen so they can have symmetrical bear characters.
Yeah.
They technically, if they wanted to be cheeky about it, could have had Little John from Robin Hood.
Yeah.
If they wanted to be cheeky,
that would have been awesome.
Why is Baloo on screen twice? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, he's wearing a little vest. He's different. He's wearing a little vest and a hat.
Yeah. But it's a silhouette. I can't see it.
It's my new original character.
Don't worry about it. Yo, can we just get like a new Robin Hood movie that isn't like a dark reboot or something that is just a Robin Hood movie?
Yeah. I'd love that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because Robin Hood you can apply to any story.
Robin Hood is a public domain character. You can just do this.
Yeah, you can just do this. Exactly.
Adventure of the Robin Hood from 1938 is a good movie.
It is. I like Errol Flynn. Daffy Duck doesn't, but I like him.
Yeah, probably didn't.
Satan from Nine Lives of Fritz the Cat likes Errol Flynn.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Fritz the Cat said a slur?
Yes, I do remember that. I was just about to quote it because that's the one quote I remember. But then I was like,
and then you remembered. No, I literally can't quote it.
I can't quote it. I don't want to get canceled on Twitter.com.
And I'll be like, I'm going to cancel myself on my own podcast. Call me H3H3 the way I cancel myself on my own podcast. Apparently, he just got yelled at by Hassan yesterday. Good.
Are they still recording a podcast together?
I didn't think they were still doing a podcast. I hope not. I have not heard anything H3 related in years.
H3 did a content nuke, and then Hassan's on the content cop with iDubbbz. Why the hell would they still be recording together?
Well, they did a debate yesterday or something.
Okay. So it's not like a friendly kind of.
No, it was we're trying to kill each other.
Right. Okay. I don't pay attention to that side of YouTube no more, so
I only know about it because like I was looking at the trending tab on Blue Sky earlier today, and I saw Ethan and Hassan was trending. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen anything Ethan be relevant in anything in over a year.
It has been a while. I completely forgot about H3.
He's been overtaken by the Rizzler.
Yeah. I think he seems to.
It's H3 Dad, only the worst podcaster ever. Why do you have a standee then? I don't know. I guess I'm glad you destroyed it now. Yeah. I can buy a Rizzler standee instead. Rizzler, 5 big booms, Dad.
I would say Ethan seems to have at least improved as a person over the last several years. He's not as pretentious, whereas iDubbbz and Hassan are definitely still pretty pretentious. So yeah, that's all I've heard about.
We watched One Piece at one point.
The One Piece is real. Israel. Yes. Wait a minute.
What?
Oh no. The funny part about the One Piece is real scene is that like how like everyone memes about the gif of Walter falling over, but like in context of the actual series, that's like one of the most like will destroy you scenes in the series.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the One Piece of Real scene is actually like one of the like big emotional, like climaxes for like the first half of the series.
The first half. Oof.
Yes.
I mean, look, yeah, no, I know One Piece is ever expansive, so it means
it's okay. We're in the final saga.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind, a saga has multiple arcs in it. We're in the second arc of the final saga. We all thought Egghead was going to be a short transitional arc. It lasted for 1.5 years.
How wrong we were.
Kind of like this episode.
That's true. What are we, 2 hours into recording? We still haven't gotten to Extremely Goofy Movie.
And?
No, that's
perfect. What are we on right now?
No, that's perfectly normal. You know what? This is around the time we stopped talking about Hunchback in the Hunchback episode, you know? So I get it.
But just step back a bit, Mr. Back. You gotta focus. You just step back a hunch, Mr. Back.
So was there anything else we wanted to say about the documentary specifically? I feel like there's a couple of things.
I didn't get to talk. I still want to talk more about Steve Martin as Goofy.
That it is an incredibly random choice, but funny nonetheless. That they thought they could do Steve Martin as Goofy.
Yeah,
which, no offense to Steve Martin, great comedic actor. I love Steve Martin, but he's not Goofy.
He's not like I guess if you're going to like do a live action like Goofy, I feel like he would fit. Obviously, like I don't know what the heck you do about the voice. Like I guess you just like ditch the voice. Like I guess that was what Katzenberg's pitch was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you're he's like his mannerisms are kind of Goofy-esque. I can see that. Like obviously like his voice doesn't necessarily fit it, but I think it is like it's a very businessman choice. Yeah. And I think it's because I looked it up and he isn't Steve Martin. Like his only notable voice acting roles in Prince of Egypt, so I guess Katzenberg eventually got what he came for.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if this was intentional, but it might be like a follow. You know the Steve Martin's like King Tut song. I wonder like is that why? Because he's I think he's one of like the I don't remember what like the like I don't know one of Pharaoh's
one of
like spiritual guys. Yeah, like one of the two I can't
remember that they do sing with the big boy.
The priest, whatever, the priest of Ra. The priest of Ra.
Yeah.
Like, Steve Martin's one of those. This isn't like a terribly comedic role in the first place. Like I don't know if it's because of the King Tut song is why Steve Martin got cast there, but I guess Katzenberg got his wish. He got his Steve Martin role.
That's true.
It's just like, who would you like? Was Steve Martin that big of a draw in the 90s?
He was a draw because he was. When I think early 90s Steve Martin, I think of Father of the Bride.
Which is which those are Disney movies.
Okay,
right?
so yeah, that's probably why he was probably in the area while they were working on a Goofy movie.
It's like we've already have a rapport with him. We can get him back,
right? But like, I'm just thinking because if you're gonna do a Goofy comedian like that, I feel like, and this was not a good idea, but I feel like you would probably get a Jim Carrey for that role. But I'm also thinking logically that wouldn't make sense because they're making this movie in 1994, the biggest year for Jim Carrey ever. They would have not, and if they're trying to make it, you know, a not expensive movie, Jim Carrey would have absolutely exploded the budget.
Yeah,
so.
that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like a celebrity voice would have blown up the budget.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I guess Steve Martin maybe isn't that bad. But as far as like the night, I don't know, like I'm a huge fan of Bullfinger.
I like Bullfinger too.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he's I said, he's a great comedic actor. I love Steve Martin. He's just not Goofy to me. He's not. Yeah. He's not who I think of when I think of Goofy.
Yeah, I was gonna say though,
why is Steve Martin the first thing you think of?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's kind of like a Goofy grandpa type. There's a lot of this character. Like obviously he's got the white hair, so he's able to play a little. He's like sorry, I'm blank on a name. what's the main guy in like Airplane? What's his name?
Oh, Leslie Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Maybe go like Leslie Nielsen direction too.
Well, like
I don't know if he's ever
the
voice
thing with
acted.
Leslie Nielsen is that like he has a very deadpan delivery, which is the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Which like that would give you the opposite. That would just give you like the opposite of what you'd want from Goofy.
Right.
Yeah.
So no matter
I,
no matter how you look at it, Bill Farmer was the right choice no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, but I forgot Bullfinger because that did not do terribly well in the box office. That's also in the 90s,
Yeah.
even with Eddie Murphy too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not necessarily a box office draw for Steve Martin.
It's a good point. Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's a name, I guess. Like,
yeah, but like, why would Steve Martin be like the first name you come up with?
it was probably just I don't know, Steve Martin. Like that's how they went about it.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they don't like pull any punches on Jeffrey Katzenberg's bad ideas because it's like they draw him like really fucking short, which I thought was just them having a laugh, but no, he's actually just really short in real life, apparently.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't pull any punches, but they also do give him credit where credit is due, and that like once he got fired in '94, they established that Jeffrey really was the one really pulling for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now that he's gone, Disney just kind of sees this as an obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen like I don't think it was in the I don't think it makes sense for it to be in the documentary, but yeah, I definitely have seen like people make comments that like or like older reviews where like I'm not surprised this bombed because they don't want to like give like validation to the outgoing guy.
Well, it's interesting.
Like, they want to like if it flops, that just is like they want to prove that they were right in firing Katzenberg.
Well, it's interesting because when they got to the part where they actually released the movie and they were getting critical responses, they make it a point to show that no critic liked this movie, that they were making all this, they were making all these points, all these critics were, Kevin even made this weird point where like somebody came up to him and said, "How dare you do this to Goofy? Make this serious movie with Goofy as the main character." And I remember thinking, why is that so shocking? But then I had to remember, because I grew up on a Goofy movie. And so when I think of Goofy, my interpretation of Goofy is thanks to this movie. This Three Musketeers movie, whatever. Like these are what I think of when I think Goofy. Whereas anybody before this, they thought Goofy was from the old Disney cartoons.
Yeah, they were specifically with the stuff from the 40s.
Right.
And that's what a lot of the reviews were also pointing out. Like, Roger Ebert, like, in his clip, said, when I think of Goofy, I always associate him with, like, the 40s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could not find that Roger Ebert and Siskel review anywhere online.
I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, because I wanted to give Roger Ebert the benefit of the doubt. So I watched the Friday Part 4 review you posted in Discord, which hilarious video.
Well, you've seen it before.
Yes, but I wanted to refresh my memory, and oh boy, it was really funny hearing the fucking Ebert going on a moral grandstanding fucking debate, and even Siskel's like, dude, it's not that deep. Like, it's just a bad movie.
Siskel didn't like the either, but he's like, at that point in time, Siskel got the memo. It's like this is just like a roller coaster of teenagers. It's not that deep.
Right, exactly. And the fact that Ebert's just like, oh, this is the worst thing. It's so demoralizing to teenagers. It's like, shut up. Anyway, so then I was like, all right, let me find the Goofy movie one. I couldn't find it either. Yeah, like I literally looked up Roger Ebert Goofy movie. I can't find this video anywhere. So I found on his website. I found the review he wrote for it. And he talks about how when he went to go see it with like 200 kids in the theater broke down and he didn't finish the movie. And so he's writing out the review. Granted, at the very end, he does an editor's note and says, okay, I finished the movie and I saw all this. I still stand by my rating. And he gave the rating like 3 stars, which is fair.
I think like the point of showing the Ebert review was a matter of, because he prefaced that such saying Kevin could not find a wonderful review.
Right.
I think it meant like he was looking for like a big, glowing, fully positive review, and like he couldn't find one at all. That like the most positive reviews were just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. So then when you show Ebert and he's just because they even like on the DVD for a Goofy movie, they specifically show 2 thumbs up Siskel and Ebert on the back of the DVD. So clearly they liked it.
The movie.
They liked it, but they didn't love it. You're right.
Yeah.
But they
So maybe
they still gave it 2 thumbs up.
It's only 1 thumb up per person.
So that's what they mean by 2 thumbs up. Yeah, 1 thumb each. Very, very good. But yeah. It was just really frustrating that I couldn't find this video anywhere. It's probably somewhere on like some, I don't know, Siskel and Ebert archive, I'm sure. It's just, you have to dig to find it, even though I could not be more specific in both YouTube and Google's search engine by going, Roger Ebert Goofy movie. And it's like, did you mean Roger Ebert reviewing, I don't know, fucking Pocahontas? It's like, no.
I got the review for Good Burger.
Yeah, I got Good Burger too. It's like, did I say Good Burger? No, I said Goofy movie.
And the reason we're bringing up the Ebert review is also because like that clip they showed in the documentary is weird because it's not even him critiquing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's about him talking about like the state of the world that like now that we're bringing this legacy character into the 90s in a world where like it's established that he has to lock his car.
Yeah, that confused me also because I thought, is he talking about the scene when, the car starts rolling down the hill and they can't get into the car because he locked the car? He's like, no, he just means that even in the cartoon world, he has to lock his car because it's such a shithole of a world. It's like, really? That's what you're hung up about? What?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, that's what he's going for. It's like, this is weird. Oh, Ebert. Yeah. And it's like, we know Ebert is like such a big legendary critic, but like in moments like this, what I don't see like the big legendary critic. What I see is the guy who went on a huge rant about Friday the 13th Part 4 and also wrote a cookbook about rice cookers. And
also the guy who thought Miss Piggy was too thin in The Great Muppet Caper. I'm still salty about that to this very day. Oh, have I never told you? I feel like I have told this before. But
probably told me, but I forgot.
Okay, let me... the quick version is Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel reviewed The Great Muppet Caper. Roger Ebert wrote a review and one of his big complaints about the movie is that Miss Piggy's too thin because she's been Hollywoodified or whatever the fuck. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I still to this day cannot wrap my head around. Yeah, exactly. He's complaining about how it's like this big budget movie about how, just all these, it's like this glorifying like the golden age of Hollywood. I know, William. I know. I can't even wrap my head around it. And it's haunted me to this day, the fact that he just complains about the movie in having a much thinner Miss Piggy puppet, even though it's like,
my takeaway from this is that Roger Ebert likes big girls.
Yeah, fair enough, but what does that have to do with the movie?
Valid.
Could you take a step forward, Miss Piggy? You're looking too skinny. You're too skinny.
Oh, I still to this day. Look, yeah, again, Roger Ebert. He has done some great reviews. Again, I still stand by his Battlefield Earth review rules. It's awesome. But man, sometimes.
The North review?
Which review?
North.
Yeah, no, that's a classic too. I hated this movie. Hated this movie.
Movie. Just step forward a bit, Mr. Ebert. You're losing focus.
Huh. Yeah, so that was such a weird moment in the documentary. Again, just because Ebert was a weird reviewer in that point. But it made it all the more sweeter when you got to see that a lot of the modern audiences, on YouTube got to really, because hearing people talk about it at first, you're like, oh, it's very nostalgic for me. Like, yeah, of course, duh, because I grew up watching it. But
and then you get like deeper reviews, like showing that they're actually analyzing it.
Yeah. How like
there's a big topic about how like it's very popular in Black communities, and it's like they get into all of that. Like the reason, like how they see themselves in there is like that's really cool.
Yeah, like these things that not even the directors or the filmmakers are thinking about, but they're happy nonetheless because people are giving their movie a shot.
And it's also like one of those things with like film and books and stuff. That it's like even if it wasn't intended by the writer, that your interpretation is still valid.
Yeah, death of the author and all that.
Yeah. Like, were those skull and crossbones by PJ meant to symbolize his insecurities and fear? Probably not. They were probably just meant to be cool pirate ships. But pirate ships.
Maybe. And they also had the you guys probably see like the live action remakes of some of the musical numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, at least,
I
like,
didn't
after
watch
the
any
day.
of them. I saw the clips of them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
neat.
and those are in, they mentioned those, and those are yeah, those are really like really impressive productions.
I think Hal just had like the image of like a live action Goofy movie remake.
I did.
Oh yeah. No. Don't worry about that.
Nope.
I don't know how you can like the number of
can't.
people have to convince to like make that a thing though, because this is not like
You can't.
it's obviously like they cat like yeah they get like every role in that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it literally cannot be achieved. So I think it's good that Disney probably wouldn't consider it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's the fan live action remake of the scene.
it's cool for a
Yeah.
YouTube
Fan
video.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd
So,
be a
yeah,
lot
it's like yeah, like
cooler
the number of
if
people
it
had to
was
come
the
together to make
Girls
this
and
a
Boys
thing.
of Rock and Roll from Chipmunk Adventure.
Well, they did that within the Nostalgia Critic review.
You know, I tried watching that clip when we did that episode of the podcast, and I just couldn't do it.
The one where Lindsay Ellis says you want to sing about it, or the actual Chipmunk review.
When they actually sing the song in the review.
Okay, yeah, because we're the real Chipmunk movie.
I'm a guy reviewer on the internet. Like I checked out at that exact moment. Like I can't do this.
Yeah. Oh Lord, make me stronger.
I can't do this. Doug would fucking crucify us if he hears this.
Doug, please come on the podcast.
Take a step back, Mr. Walker. You're out of focus.
Please come on the podcast, Mr. Walker. Please.
We're baking, probably. She's been drinking too much eggnog.
And we begged him to come on the podcast. Come on the podcast. We're begging.
Wow, two holiday specials that are also court cases in 1 year. This Christmas on Too Many Movies, O.J. Simpson learns the true meaning of Christmas.
Oh, dude, if there was an OJ holiday
for him.
special, I absolutely would do an episode on it. But no, we're doing Jack Frost 2 instead. It'll be out when it's out, and we like that. It'll be out when it's
This
out.
is the worst thing OJ's ever done. Is not making a Christmas special.
Yeah, I know. For real.
I'm dreaming of a white
Glove.
Bronco.
I was like, where's he going with this? Oh, white Bronco.
It has escapability.
If the glove does not fit, you
I
must.
can't throw any
acquit.
snowballs. My snow gloves don't fit. Oh no, Maxie, I'm getting juice.
He's not a Simpson named Bart.
Usage.
Hey, it's the OJ. We're busted.
Could you put down that knife, Mr. OJ? You're out of focus.
See, this is what I mean when I say OJ is a recurring character in the Too Many Movies lore.
Should we move on to Extremely Goofy Movie
We
now?
should. Extremely Goofy movie time.
Alright.
And not the Triple X parody.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, Minion. Not yet. No, Extremely Goofy movie. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I like this movie. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think the main issues with Extremely Goofy Movie is that, like, in a lot of ways, we are retreading things that happened in the first movie.
Yeah.
In ways,
Like
yes.
not the literal events, but like the lessons being learned are very similar.
Very similar,
Yeah.
yes. I will give credit that Max does seem a little more mature in this one.
Like, I have to give a lot of credit to Max overall
Right.
in this movie, because like when the first the conflict first begins, Max tries to be reasonable with him. Like, he doesn't yell. He's like, okay, we're here together. We'll live with you, but we just need to have some ground rules. Okay, is this fair? Is this understandable? Great.
Mm-hmm.
But Goofy's the one that keeps pushing, and like Max's outburst towards the halfway point, it's harsh, but I don't think he's necessarily in the wrong for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Max is also extremely loyal to his friends in this movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the moment Bradley tries to exclude PJ and Bobby, without even thinking, Max is like, oh, it's all of us or none of us. We're together. We're in this all the way. If you want me, you have to invite them too. Well, then I'm sorry, I can't join. And like, when Bobby falls in the pit, like, Max stops racing for him to check to see, Bobby, are you okay? Go finish the race. Okay. Like, Max is extremely mature in this film.
He's a real upstanding guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like when he like how he's thinking about transferring schools at that point in the film. It's not even because he's trying to get away from his dad. It's because he feels like he let them down in the qualifiers. It's like, damn.
Is that? I thought it was because of his dad.
I mean,
okay,
half
partially, but
half
like,
and half.
Half and half. Like he says, I'm
Like,
absolutely like, you guys don't even need me. I'm the one that ruined the qualifiers for us.
Yeah. Yeah, he does feel like he feels stuck in his dad's shadow.
Mm-hmm.
He does feel that, but it's also he feels like he's screwed up and that he's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's putting his friends before himself in that moment.
Yeah.
Also, his friend Beret Girl, who does not have a real name.
Vicky Lewis is Beret
yeah.
Girl. Which, look, Beret Girl is too cool for a name, okay? She's just Beret Girl.
Look, if she was a one-off scene character who only had that one moment, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
She is a main, well, not main, but like, she's like a big supporting character. She becomes PJ's girlfriend. She has multiple scenes in dialogue.
Yeah.
This is an important character in the movie. At no point during any of this did anyone say, hey, we should give her a name.
Yeah. Even when they could have just made something the fuck up during credits, just be like, I don't know, Valerie.
Well, it says Beret Girl on her character sheet if you look those up on Google. Like, at no point did they ever think to give this character a name.
Nope.
Hell, at least like say like BG or something.
Oh yeah, BG. I mean, but yeah, it's something other than Beret Girl if you just shorten it to BG. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, to this day, she's just Beret Girl.
I mentioned this earlier, but like, I appreciate that like everyone does visibly look older in this film. Like, you can tell these are college age people.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Bobby doesn't have the weird half mohawk anymore. He's matured to just being straight up bald.
Well, he has a buzz cut.
He buzz cut. He's still Bobby in that way, but you can tell he's a different kind of immature. He's college immature now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did Pete fire Goofy?
Pete didn't fire Goofy, no.
I feel like he just got a different job eventually.
Oh wait, you're talking between movies, yeah.
So what happened? What happened to his photography job?
I guess it wasn't as popular anymore in the 2000s.
I mean, yeah, I only remember going to Sears once to do like pictures like that, you know.
Yeah, I think that was a thing that was like a very 80s and 90s thing, but like by that point, it was kind of the market was done.
Yeah, because people had their own cameras. Point,
yeah, you had your own cameras. You had the Kodaks. You had recyclable.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's like there's no need anymore.
So Pete let him go.
Yeah. So
I guess Pete also got let go.
Yeah, because he had to go.
Possibly.
I mean, Pete probably retired because he's just grilling all the time. which good for him.
Yeah.
But then
I just want to grill.
Yeah, I just want to grill, goof boy. So then, yeah, that meant Goofy had to get a job at the toy factory.
Ugh.
So
He's just like Peter.
Oh,
He's just like Peter Griffin.
Peter. Well, you Pete. He's grilling.
Oh, yeah.
Peter.
The movie starts off at the graduation party, I guess. Well, I guess more of the going away party.
Yeah.
So it's it's the 5 returning characters from the previous film. And like at the beginning, like we kind of get like some thematic repeats of what happened last movie. Like Goofy gives like the horseshoe lecture, which is kind of like that movie's version of the perfect cast.
Yeah, I do like how they recite every word he's saying because he's given that speech before. Like,
yeah,
that's a fun detail.
There's like he's giving Max an important gift for going away into the typewriter, which is like this movie's version of the fishing rod. The downside is that that typewriter does not reappear at all.
It's an adding machine. It's not a typewriter.
Oh, it's not even a typewriter. It's an adding. I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
I always just assumed it was a typewriter.
Nope.
Oh,
it's even more age dated.
Well,
it's the kind of thing where like
the only other time I can remember it showing back up in the movie is during Goofy's dream sequence during the midterm. When he's like hallucinating them having like a tea party on top of the adding machine.
Let's go, son. I can't miss you being gone.
Yeah,
I think Max also, it appears in Max. I think Max has a dream where it shows up as well.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think Max has a dream sequence.
Relevance.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of there for like he's giving him an old thing, which I don't know why Max would assume. Whoa, is it like one of those DVD VCR fax machines? Like first of all, DVD VCR fax machines. What is that a thing?
What the hell?
No, but I get like because it's like your kid is going away to college, you get them a cool present or something they'll use. Like, yeah, you would have use for like a VCR or a DVD player in a college dorm.
Right.
But to his credit, like adding machines are heavy as hell. Like, so to his credit, like what else would be that heavy? Like, yeah, maybe like a printer.
Yeah.
Fax machine.
Which you do need in college, a printer.
Yeah.
I mean, the library.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. My library in both schools I went to had printers in the library.
Yeah.
That fax machine's pretty cool. Though. That's what they have in Back to the Future too. Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has fax machines.
And he gets fired via fax.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we're getting like some thematic retreads of what happened in the last movie, and. Now, going away to college is a bigger thing than just drifting apart as a teenager, yes.
Yes.
But it's like, you kind of also get the sense of, well, Max now is an adult, so he does need to have his own life outside his parents. That, like, I kind of feel like the thing is that the movie feels a little more one-sided, because, like, it really does feel that Goofy's the one pushing things in the wrong direction.
Yeah, there's not that dichotomy where you can see it from both sides. Pretty much Goofy is pretty much in the wrong, which I like, because then Max isn't unlikable. You understand him completely, and you do see him being far more mature in this one, which is a nice change. It's nice to see after the first events of the first movie, but then there's no conflict because you're just like, I'm siding with Max on this one, Goof. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Now, I guess they also probably realize that to an extent because this movie does have actual villains this time.
That's a good point. Yes, there is an actual antagonist, whereas in the first movie, there's antagonistic forces, that being miscommunication or lack of communication, whereas here you have the God amongst men, Bradley Uppercrust III.
In his tap-out tank, baby.
Look what the freshman cat dragged in, baby.
You're going down like a pair of 4-cent socks.
Which, that line,
diabolical.
The line, look what the freshman cat dragged in, baby, has stuck with me for years because of how weirdly cheesy it is. It's like so hokey, that line. It's never left my mind though. I'm like, that's the best line you could have had for him to say as this first thing. Look what the freshman cat dragged in. but I mean, I remember it, so hokey or not, it's funny.
Bradley and Tank are just great characters.
Oh, undeniably so. Yes, Bradley rules from a facial character design.
Bradley has the best facial expressions ever put to film.
Exactly. The performance from Jeff Bennett specifically, because you know it's him immediately. You recognize that voice immediately. You're like, that's Jeff Bennett. But he, like, the way he says things in his Bradley Uppercrust the Third voice still feels, you just think, no, that's Bradley Uppercrust the Third, baby.
Top 10
Tank,
Disney villain.
baby.
Yeah, and Tank. Brad Garrett. Fucking rules. Robert from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Sweetheart at the end of every line.
Yeah, because he's the cool college kid who's probably 29 years old in reality, but you know.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, you can be in
Right,
college.
yeah, there are adults who go to college.
Right.
You can return to college as an adult.
But he doesn't
Like,
seem...
yeah, like Goofy is. Yeah.
He doesn't seem
Like
like
a
somebody
movie.
who returned to college. He seems like somebody who never left college.
I mean, well, that's also the other question of how old is Bradley? Because like it's established that, like the Gammas have been like winning for years and years, and that Bradley's the leader of that. And it's like, how long has Bradley been here?
Right.
That's a good question.
Is he a college
Like-
kid who never left college?
Are they meant to be like seniors? Or are they just like, how many classes are they taking in a year?
Yeah, the
Right.
normal explanation would be seniors, but yeah, like
But
there's definitely a possibility he's just been there for.
right, but
There's a very similar character in Monsters University. I can't remember his name.
well, I
the
mean,
guy with the big horns.
yeah,
There's
Johnny.
also a similar character in
Yeah, Johnny,
Community.
I remembered it. But
There's also Pearson Community, which is Chevy Chase's character.
right.
He just keeps taking classes because he has nothing better to do.
Right. No, but
Like you could literally graduate whenever you want.
yeah, I mean, as a kid, this was my introduction to what college is. You know, because I always think of the moment when Goofy first wakes them up in their dorm, and Max looks at the alarm clock, and it says like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, "Dad."
5:59.
It says 5:59, and then it turns to 6 o'clock, and he goes, "Dad, our first class isn't until noon." And I remember being a kid and being blown away by that, because I just go, "Whoa, wait a minute! You can go to class at noon? You can sleep in the mornings? Holy shit! I can't wait for college!" Like that blew my mind as a kid. I thought, I don't have to get up early to go to school. I can just go to class at fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That rules. And that's technically what I did.
The advice I heard. That's the advice I always heard. Do not take an 8 a.m. class in college.
Never. Unless I absolutely needed to. Unless
like
it was
you had no options.
Right. Yeah. No. And plus, because I commuted into Boston to go to college, there's no fucking way I'm gonna go into Boston at 8 o'clock in the morning. Fuck that. My earliest classes in my Boston school was like 9 o'clock, the absolute earliest. It's like no fucking way. No fucking way was I driving into Boston at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah, because at that point, that's rush hour. They're going to work.
Oh, dude, I live 30 minutes north of Boston, and literally at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can see I live near the highway that goes into Boston. There's traffic all the way up by me. Again, I'm 30 minutes away, and I can see traffic building up by me. It's that bad. Yeah, it's and it was much worse in the early 2000s when you had the big dig. So, but anyway, college.
Aside from like the Goofy and Max learning the same lessons again storyline, there's the big conflict is the college X Games. Max, PJ, and Bobby are a team wanting to compete in the X Games because it's 2000 and we're hip and cool and extreme.
Brought to you by ESPN.
And ESPN 2.
And ESPN 2, yeah. I still think it is pretty obvious just how blatant they're being like, how do you do, fellow kids, with the whole X Games angle. I think it's charming though. We're at the point that this is over 25 years old now. I'm fine with the pandering because it's charming at this point.
As long as it's not professional tech deck.
Yeah, I mean, well, that goes without saying.
Max, check it out. Tech deckage.
Bobby would grow up to be a professional tech decker. Absolutely, he would.
Grindage.
Yo,
You gotta be careful saying that word. Are you sure it's not the Triple X game?
Yo, you ever notice why we like wear gloves and stuff?
Gloves on his head?
Yeah, that was good. That was probably the best line.
That's a good fourth wall break. I mean, yeah, Pete gets a good one.
There's two fourth wall breaks.
Yeah.
It's that where Bobby looking at staring at his gloves,
Mhm.
and then there's the one later with Goofy goes back home for a little bit to hang out with Pete, who's still growing. And like Goofy does not listen to a goddamn word Pete says at all in that section and just fucks off. And Pete's just like, "Fuck happened? Did I miss something?" Looking directly into the camera.
Yeah.
And like Pete's only in 2 scenes in this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just those 2 scenes.
And he makes every ounce of it work.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's go, son. I can't miss you, mate. Leave.
Great line. Huh.
I do at least like that the horseshoe came back.
Yeah.
Like how the perfect cast came back. Except the difference is that for this one it comes back so Goofy can beat the shit out of Bradley.
I did notice that this time. I'm like, oh, I got to use the horseshoe method to knock the shit out of Bradley so that he doesn't kill my son. It's like, okay, a little different than the perfect cast, but I mean, it's effective.
There's clearly no referees in this sport at all.
The fucking Chicagoan referee. Wait, there's still 5 more seconds.
Oh yeah, there's that guy. Yeah.
Not by my watch.
The referee's there when it's convenient for the plot.
False start. Come on, I'm taking you to the Chicago Bean.
Salt and battery. PJ dies. Does he ever come back?
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Does he? Wait.
Flies up to another state.
They even say that. Yeah, he's just my friend just flew into the other state.
Ooh, you need a third partner now. Damn it.
Where's my
You
dad?
have to, inspect these skates. Like, just let rocket boosters get put on all of them.
See, I have these rocket boots. Go home, buddy.
The big emotional technique Goofy teaches Max is used as the moral through line to connect the two together in extremely Goofy movie. That same technique is now used to beat the shit out of a 22-year-old.
At the least. 22 years old.
Do the cast. Do the beat the shit out of you. I'll give you a ringer.
So much so he hits him so hard he spits out a tooth. And Tank throws him up into the air, and he hits into the Zeppelin, and the Zeppelin goes fucking down. This movie's violent, man.
Oh yeah.
This movie has a confirmed body count.
This has a body count, yeah, more than the mime in the first one.
First one does have a body count. This one is it's like going at people's necks, like straight up.
I mean, the factory explodes at the beginning.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that at least a couple people didn't die.
Yeah, no, there's no fucking way nobody died. And
a couple people narrowly escaped from falling bookcases at one point. Like,
to be fair, in Goofy Movie 1, we do see a dead body.
Yeah,
it's a zombie.
Yeah, because it's a zombie. Yeah, the guy dancing.
Which we saw in the documentary. There's like that clip they use of like the reference of just like the guy Brad or whatever is doing the little jig.
Yeah, the head of story is the reason we have that little jig in the movie, which rules. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I can knock the documentary for, it's that we don't really get like insight into like the actual songwriting process.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
How they came with the songs. That would have been nice.
Like the pop songs, they talk about. Yeah, like okay, how did we get like?
Well, they talk about the animating the sequence, but they don't really talk about the song itself.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just show that Tevin exists. They were like, hey, we need this guy to sing his power line, and they didn't really go into the songwriting process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I mentioned the documentary again. I was like kind of surprised and disappointed that they don't talk about this movie at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, like there's like
it's
it
not
doesn't seem like a lot of people
relevant
aren't like
too much, but also it's like, how did this come to be then from this? If Goofy
Yeah.
Movie 1
Mhm.
didn't do great, at
like
the beginning.
like that's part of the movie's legacy is that they made a sequel. That's
Right.
movie.
Well, it's weird because at the very end, so after the credits, they have a post-credit scene where the interviewer asks Kevin Lima, "Hey, do you ever think about doing a Goofy sequel?" He says a Goofy sequel as if there wasn't already one already. And Kevin obviously says, no way, which rules. And then he says,
Yeah.
I have always wanted to do a Powerline mockumentary, which,
Huh.
Okay, I'll allow that. That sounds awesome.
All right.
But yeah, no, he says a Goofy sequel, like as if there wasn't one already being Extremely Goofy movie.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
weird.
This is an Goofy sequel, like, and Goofy. Is there a difference between a Goofy movie and an?
Well,
Extremely
no,
Goofy
because
movie?
like the way you would say that is, would you do another Goofy sequel? Because there is a Goofy sequel. It's called An Extremely Goofy Movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I didn't realize that I had to wait for post-credit scenes in my documentaries.
I know. I mean, because everything has a post-credit scene now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they also frame the bit as a bit of a joke.
Yeah,
so
it is a
like,
bit of a
yeah.
joke. But now I really do want a Powerline mockumentary. Like, give me my Powerline mockumentary. I want it.
Yeah.
This is Powerline.
Yes.
It goes to Goof.
They think how much more goof could it go? And I say, none more goof. We're doing a song on Stonehenge. Doing a song on the Causeway Bridge.
Doing a song on OJ.
We've been juiced, fellas.
Aren't they doing a fucking Spinal Tap sequel this year?
They are.
I saw there's a teaser trailer for a second Spinal Tap movie, and they're doing a re-release, and they're calling it the 41st anniversary release, which rules. That is so in character for This Is Spinal Tap. I love because the movie was 40 years old last year. They didn't really do anything for that, whereas now they're gonna do it, but just because they have like an arbitrary 41 number, which that again, that is so in character for Spinal Tap. Yeah.
Whoopsie. Go back. Take a couple steps back, Mr. Spinal Tap. You're out of anniversary. You're out of year.
You're at 11. It's like they turn the answer 11 and you just hear,
I didn't even think about the turning up to 11. Is that why it's the 41?
Maybe that's
clever.
why. Yeah, maybe that's why. I just thought it was just arbitrary because they're just like, I don't know, 41st anniversary.
It's because it's wrong.
It's funny either way.
But it might also because we're turning it up from 40 to 41.
Yes, I would love that too. That would also rule.
You have to see if there's a poster like that. I hope they do.
Yeah, probably.
See, the really the joke is you make the 41 and a half anniversary.
Oh, they would absolutely do that too. Yeah.
Just make it completely a joke.
Yeah.
They should make a sequel to Rad where they're on the Causeway Bridge.
I mean, fucking apparently Rad was popular enough to get a re-release in theaters, so...
And I wanted to go to that, but it wasn't near me, and also it was on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I didn't know Rad had that much of a cult following that it got a re-release. So
What, you don't want a Bicycle Boogie?
I don't want a Bicycle Boogie, no, not particularly.
Typical.
Hey man, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide as I step in the room.
What if Mr. Worldwide was in a Goofy movie?
I would love that if Pitbull was in a Goofy movie.
Hey, just step back a bit, Mr. Bull. You're all over the world. Download this podcast. It's just jokes. Anyone can do this. I want to see the heart of the podcast.
Yeah, where's the heart? Okay.
I want the heart.
All right, let's talk about the heart of Extremely Goofy movie. This is perfect. Goofy gets a girlfriend.
Oh, yep, yeah, that does happen.
Sylvia.
I saw a review that was basically saying that, like, I like how they went out of the way to make all 2 of the female characters complete thirst traps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Sylvia. I'm like, oh my god, she's a librarian and she loves 70s culture. Oh no.
You're checking all the boxes.
She's
Perfect.
she's got the glasses, she's got the hair up. If she didn't have such a dog-like nose, I'd be like, perfect. But she has a dog-like nose.
Please.
Yeah, no, that's again, that's I'm on the edge.
You're edging?
No. I'm on the cliffside. I'm about to jump off, but then that nose, I'm like, no, I'm a better man than this.
Oh, that nose is the cliff.
Exactly.
On the tip of her nose.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my nose.
I'm about to blow.
Oh, I'm about to bust.
Oh, little lord.
We're gonna bust you up like a 4-cent pair of socks, baby.
And what are you using those socks for? Never mind.
Why are they so crusty at the tip?
Came for nothing, and I got nothing. Like I never came.
Not
Anyway, Sylvia, I like this character, not just because.
Sylvia.
yeah, you like.
Oh,
this
you do?
character.
not like that. No, oh, fuck it. Anyway,
You want to what?
You're gonna be due for another clip show episode here soon now.
yeah, the whole clip show would just be this whole episode, honestly. um, fuck.
So Sylvia,
So Sylvia,
you step back a bit, Mr. Sylvia. Get out of focus.
I can't focus.
Could you step out of frame? I can't focus. Sylvia.
What do you like about Sylvia, Hal?
Dewey Decimal System. No, I like how she's. I do like their connection. I think they do make a cute couple, Goofy and Sylvia. Because, I mean, it is random because they bond over 70s memorabilia, which is not something I would imagine Goofy being into, but it's like, whatever. It's fine. It's cute.
Well, he went
They had to
college
take a
in the
break from
70s.
being hip to be like
Yeah.
go completely out of.
I mean, well, they established
Go
that Goofy went
completely
to
out
college
of it,
in
yeah.
the 70s. When
Right.
he first got to
Yeah.
campus, he's in like the fucking
Yeah.
Fat Albert uniform.
I'm just a yearning for some learning.
Like, bro looks like he's a Cosby kid
Yeah.
in that shot.
Yeah.
And then Max just like fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great reaction.
Dad, you're scaring people.
And then Bobby steals the afro for later.
Yeah.
Which is what Swine has as his picture. Yeah.
Bobby's just iconic in any environment.
Well, of course, it's Bobby. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what hair you do, he is.
And I do like how they get that, because I like the dance scene. I think it's a great. I mean, you did bring up a good point. How it's rotoscoped in this one, Swine, instead of
Yeah, the main characters aren't, but all the background characters, like
Yeah.
like all, and even some in the foreground.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fun
Yeah.
scene. I like the
Yeah.
detail that the disco ball comes down, it's covered in cobwebs, and the DJ blows on the record like it has dust on it.
Yeah,
I just thought that was funny because it's like, oh, the 70s was a long time ago, and this was 2000, so it literally ended 20 years beforehand. Meanwhile, it's been 25 years since this movie came out, so
right.
Yeah.
Now vinyls are out, or as I say, CDs are out, and vinyls kind of back in.
yeah, it's just so.
Yeah, it's like he has to take out get rid of the CD. and
Yeah, it's just funny that they think like, oh, 20 years ago was so long ago for the 70s. Meanwhile, it's been 50 years since the 70s. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just going to keep
Yeah.
getting more and more.
But like, it's been more time removed from this movie to now than this movie in the 70s.
Exactly, yeah, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Also, despite it being the year 2000 in this movie, that movie theater is showing The Goof Father, The Goofinator, and Pup Fiction 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny. Which, that's wild that they would make a Pulp Fiction sequel, but Pup Fiction too.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess Zed's
not
movie.
dead.
I was literally just gonna say Zed's not dead. God damn it. Same brain cell.
You just step back and look at Mr. Zed. You look dead.
Yep. Okay, let's get off Sylvia because I got nothing else to talk about with her.
What?
Oh, sure you don't.
I just keep walking into these. Just like Goofy just walked into the midterm high as fuck apparently because he has a LSD trip where he imagines
Right.
how much Max hates him.
Yeah.
And then he has a bad trip, yeah.
Yeah, a bad trip.
It's over,
And it's like
Mr. Goof.
he just does not answer any other questions on his midterm.
Yeah, he literally.
Which, on that note, like he was supposed to have a grad party with Sylvia after that, but it's like why are you having a grad party after one single midterm?
Well, that's what's confusing. Is this a graduation or is it the middle of the? Is it a midterm or is it a final?
It's a midterm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It said midterm, and then the other tests are also midterms.
Right.
And obviously, like the semester's not done. Like, I don't know. I guess Sylvia's just being extra.
I guess so. Yeah. They're so confident that he'll take one midterm and then he'll graduate.
Because like he hasn't gotten the credits yet. He has to finish out the year. Which I guess there are time jumps in the movie.
Yeah.
Because like when we see like Max walking to the coffee shop when he's thinking about transferring, and talks to that one girl. Like you look in like the sky is gray and all the trees have lost their leaves. So I guess at that point it's implied that it's now winter. Which I guess then we have to jump ahead again to when it's warmer out so we can have the X Games again.
Right.
The flow of time the movie isn't that great established. Like when Goofy goes home to hang out with Pete, the backyard still looks like it's late summer.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a reused asset.
The real question is, are they using quarters or semesters?
Simoleons.
Like you take classes. Yeah, Somalians.
Well, if you know that all 4 quarters make up a simoleon, you'll survive.
That's how a year works.
Yeah.
The Mayan number looks like a simoleon.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Goof, the world's gonna end in 2012.
I know this because I saw that Roland Emmerich film.
William, you mentioned that they had a correct representation of video games in the late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Their PC gaming.
That game actually looks like correctly pixelated 3D models that you would see in the late 90s and early 2000s. We actually had someone who knew what video games actually looked like.
Now, if only we had characters who were pressing buttons properly with that, I guess it would be better, but that's a little video game trope you see.
Still don't have people. Yeah. People still don't have people drive correctly either.
That's true. Yeah, you just have characters like literally driving
with their arms.
Like, you're not moving the wheel that much when you're driving.
Yeah.
Every movie video game is just Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, correct, but also
like every movie car scene is Mario Kart Wii. You watch like because I made Hal watch the live action Alvin and the Chipmunks last week when Dave is driving them for after the failed pitch to Ian. Dave is just moving the wheel back and forth for no reason. It's like you're driving in a straight line.
He'd be driving drunk if he was doing that. Yeah. Like the car would just be going like swerving like if he was moving the wheel like that. But I guess I don't know. I guess you want to make it seem like he's doing something while driving.
Right. We just kind of. It doesn't feel like they're going anywhere. Like we need.
You're not supposed to actually
illusion of movement. Yeah.
Right.
You're not supposed to be focusing on that.
But your brain did.
But still, it'd be really funny though, like in like an animated movie or something, or like with green screens, if like they realistically laid out the road according to how he's moving the wheel. So you just look behind them and just like the most insane road ever is behind him.
Yeah.
Like imagine there's like for no reason there's a fucking loop-de-loop somewhere in there.
Well, he wanted a plane that loop-de-loops.
I think Naked Gun do something like that. Like
well, Airplane had that sequence where when that guy from the airport picks up Robert Stack's character and they're on the car and it's blatantly a green screen, so you just have like cowboys and Indians following them at one point. So they do stuff like that in Airplane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like I don't know. feel like I remember seeing Leslie Nielsen like run someone over. Like
That's
something like that.
I mean Naked
That might
Gun
be in there.
Naked Gun is, you know, famous for having their intro where you just have the car going in all these random places.
Right.
So.
I thought it was something else other than that.
But
yeah,
there's
they-
probably
yeah,
also
yeah, that's
there's got to be a green screen car gag somewhere in the Naked Gun
Yeah.
films. I fully believe that's a thing.
I guess we'll find out later this year when we do the Naked Gun trilogy episode.
Mm-hmm.
But that already happened, William.
I guess we'll find
Good
out.
point.
I have a Naked Gun episode planned, but it's not the trilogy.
Dementia. I barely know her.
Could you step back, Mr. Dementia? You're out of focus.
Out of focus.
So extremely goofy movie. I don't know. Somebody else talk about something else with the movie.
You're demoralized after the Sylvia plotline.
Yeah. I'm not coming back from the Sylvia plotline.
We're watching Naked Sylvie Gun.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Again.
Oh my god.
Man. This is the worst episode of too many movies, but also the best one.
I've been having so much fun, and that's what matters the most.
Okay, so what else do we want to talk about with this movie? The disco dance sequence is pretty cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
PJ gets a girlfriend. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because he
Good for
uses his
him,
brains, not his brawn.
Yeah.
It's
Then he
established
dies.
that the fucking the Gammas are big fat cheaters.
Yeah. Big fat
Yeah.
40.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
to return my Gamma's pin. I better go return it to them. Oh no, they cheating. Fuck. And Max doesn't believe him when he says says that at first, but then when Goofy just isn't there for the actual games, it's like, oh, he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
I get
weird.
that, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I hate that Mickey Mouse. Which is weird that he wouldn't believe. Like, I guess because his dad.
At that point, he
Yeah.
thinks he's still a Gamma.
He's
He
still a
doesn't
Gamma.
know
that he has to
Sure.
get out.
Sure.
Because like obviously like Upper Crust is obviously like Max is like Upper Crust is using Goofy to get at him.
Mhm.
yeah.
So like that's kind of like Max probably has that.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
right.
Yeah.
It's like assume okay. Yeah. It's like Max. He still has Upper Crust still has you on like a tip of like on this like under your thumb like
Under
he's-
your thumb,
uh,
goof.
Goof.
It's like you can see like he's still pissed, but yeah, it's a little unreasonable, but I can see it.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right.
And then the Gammas just blatantly cheat the entire time, and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that referee was not doing a good job. I mean, there was only
Yeah.
one referee, but
Bro was not paying attention.
I guess he was paying attention to the deep dish pizza he was eating.
Marbles get here.
Yeah, how could you pay attention when Sylvia's in the episode? Right, Hal?
Yes, correct. How could I focus on the game when I got Sylvia right here?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. The cheating hijinks are kind of underwhelming. Like it's not even. We're not
Just,
even
like,
like
too much
on
marbles,
wacky.
just
yeah.
Move the
We're not like
hay bales
wacky
over.
racers like level like creativity with it. It's kind of. Hey, we got Son of Bigfoot's here.
Son of Bigfoot.
We haven't talked about him in this movie.
Yeah, there's literally
Yeah.
a character who looks exactly like Bigfoot from the first movie. It's not even. It's quite literally just Bigfoot again. It's not even.
And he's one of the Gammas, so he
He's-
gets to kidnap Goofy for the hazing ritual.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, no, he rules. But it's just really funny that a character looks so much like Bigfoot in this movie when it's
Mhm.
Bigfoot is implied to be this forest dwelling character. So it's like, I guess he's what, first generation Bigfoot going to college then?
And it's just
Yeah, I
they
guess.
wanted a funny face, like I said, reused
Oh,
like
yeah.
the model or something.
It is a funny face.
It's just it's just like an Easter egg for the fans.
Yeah.
Like how there's the guy in the background in Silver Sharks who's just blatantly wearing the classic Goofy outfit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the Gammas honestly aren't even that like Bradley's like intimidating in his own right, but yeah, like the Gammas as a whole aren't exactly like preppy, like they don't exactly give off the cool kids. He just basically got a bunch of brawn around.
He
him,
just
you
has
know?
a bunch of hired goons. It's just
Yeah,
Brad,
it's just
Brad-
Bradley and a bunch of
goons.
hired goons.
Bradley and Tank and a
Yeah.
bunch of hired.
Goons.
The coolest the cool kids, I guess.
Hired goons.
And it's like we see that they're not even apparently that popular because like when they go to the coffee shop to intimidate Max, everyone there immediately pushes back against someone until they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like the coffee shop's like the counterculture. It's like that'd be expected if they even the word like the preps.
Yes,
and,
but like we don't really see them getting cheered for by everyone else either.
Yeah,
it's just Max is so cool, Goofy's so cool, like them specifically.
Mm-hmm.
He's so.
I don't
cool.
know. Max hypes him up like when they get there. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, do the perfect cast. He should have done the perfect cast as one of his skateboard tricks, honestly.
That would have ruled. But yeah, I guess it's not in line with the rest of the movie, so it just would have been like a weird Easter egg to throw in for us diehard Goofy movie fans.
10s across the board, except for Germany. 9 on that one.
So, are there many points of like continuity, like outside of like Max is more mature and you see them age? Like there isn't any like points of continuity.
Yeah, there's. I mean, aside from Bigfoot Jr., son of Bigfoot, and even then, that's just that. You know, it's not like a blatant reference to the original.
Yeah,
like we don't even see like there's no power line posters in Max's room at the beginning of the movie. It's like all sports stuff with the X Games.
Yeah,
I guess Robertson was a new character once, so they brought him back.
Right? Yeah, we were saying
so he doesn't exist outside of it.
Yeah, he's that's true. Bobby doesn't.
He got
exist.
Some recurring characters.
Isn't that a sad existence? Bobby doesn't exist outside of the Goofy movies.
Bobby isn't real. He was in your head.
That's why. Yeah, he discovered why he was wearing gloves, and Disney was like, "All right, we can't have this guy spreading this around," so they took him out.
Bobby is Balloon Man, 1993. I'm sorry, Hal. Extremely Goofy movie isn't a real movie. I made it up.
Oh man, because I love it so much.
Such a convincing job.
Yeah, you convinced me for years.
You gave Hal an imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah. That's the one thing I've taken away from this movie is Sylvia.
Yeah, but
and now you've taken away her from him.
Oh, great. This is going to turn into Companion. I'm Jack Quaid. Sylvia's.
I like how I like the shot of them coming out of the fire at the end where it's like Max, Goofy, and Tank all on one skateboard.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Because I like that Max actually takes the time to save Tank because Max is a genuinely good guy, so he's doing the right thing. Even though Tank has been a real jerk, he still goes in and saves him.
He's not going to let him die. He's like, hello, Tank like screaming, Bradley, someone save me. And then Max looks at the finish line. He looks back over, immediately darts over where Tank is. Like, without really any real hesitation.
Yeah.
He's like, immediately goes to save him.
We're going to be Baked Alaska, baby.
We'll be Baked Alaska here, baby.
I'm trying to remember, did Bradley even have the opportunity? What was Bradley doing when
trying to win the race?
Trying to win the race.
He was trying to win the race. Okay, I can remember.
He did not give any shits for Tank.
Okay,
which is great because then, Max gets to catch up to them, and Tank and Goofy are left behind. And Tank goes, "That's some kid you got there, dude." It's like, that's a nice moment.
It's like you're wrong
because I know
it's not like a kid anymore.
Oh yeah, that even better. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bradley was like, I remember like Bradley got pissed off before, like because he feels like Tank's ignoring him, like kind of reasonably, but yeah, he's just trying to like return the favor, but obviously Tank's gonna burn to death.
And like Bradley, like, oh Max, Bradley, and like, what was the deal that Max made with Bradley again?
Talboy.
Talboy.
Okay, and then Max like the deal's off though. I think you may want to talk to him. And Tank just like approaches Bradley with the thickest aura.
Yeah.
It's like bought for the new opening in the Gammas, now taking applications.
Yeah, and launches him fucking like a slingshot. Launches him into the air.
Yeah, and then he. Oh, the humanity!
He destroys the Zeppelin. He
kills the. I can't remember what the one announcer says. Like
we're
saving my life.
That's right, Chuck.
That's right, Chuck. Yeah, they could have gone the Cars route of where like Max refuses the win because Bradley's cheating, but no, they let Max save the day and true.
Yeah.
Well, because
This
you
is
can't
fine.
let you
This is
can't
fine.
let the
This is
cheater
fine.
win.
Yeah. I don't care if he wins. I just want Bradley to lose.
Well, like you can't have Disney can't have the cheater win because that's a bad moral.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because Chick wins in Cars. I get what you're saying though, Swine, saying how like in that movie you have the cheater win, but he's not rewarded for it. Whereas here Max is rewarded. But again, I'm fine with it because McQueen
Max also gets Max gets a moral victory.
That's it's not that's part of McQueen's arc.
That's part of
McQueen's arc.
It's part of McQueen's arc to not win and to.
It's part of the lightning arc.
It's part of the lightning arc. And then Chick winning, and then nobody giving a shit that he won also kind of shows that it's just an empty cup. So that's why it's more thematically relevant in Cars. Whereas here, just give Max the W. It's fine. He wins without cheating. That's still a good moral at the end of the day.
Yeah, the Goofy did give Bradley a concussion though for sure.
Oh, absolutely. He lost a tooth.
Yeah,
he spits out a tooth like it's a Tic Tac.
Yeah, and Max gives his dad the trophy at the end as well. So Max doesn't keep the trophy either.
Yeah,
because
is it the same trophy? Because he puts the new inscription on it.
Yeah,
I think the implication is he takes the.
It's definitely the
new one. Yeah. I think it's just. I thought the implication is the same trophy, but he got a new inscription for it.
Right. Yeah. That might be.
It's just an empty cup. It's just an empty cup.
Screwed on there.
He did what in his cup?
He did
what to Sylvia? And Goofy fucks with him at the end a little, "Oh, did you get? I got a job on campus."
Yeah,
but I just kidding.
Yeah, literally just kidding. Yeah, and then they drive away.
And they drive off into the sunset.
Yeah,
Sylvia still works at the library.
Yeah, we can assume. I do think that's an interesting way to end the movie because we obviously never got a third one. Still to this day, we still haven't gotten a third one. But I feel like even if we never get a third one, I think ending it off with them driving off into the sunset is a great thematic end for this universe of the Goofy movie universe,
Because Max has his life now, Goofy has his life, but they're at least still in touch.
Yeah.
They're still part of each other's lives, but they recognize that they need to be a part as well.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect way to end off not just this movie, but the duology in general.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. I'm keeping both DVDs.
They fit.
I'm keeping both Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking for. I've been searching for. I wanted the Blu-ray for a long time. And I messed up and forgot to ever join the Disney Rewards or whatever.
And now it's gone forever.
Now it's gone forever.
I mean, you could.
I wanted Old Yeller, but I couldn't get it.
So now I'm at the point. Okay, I'll settle for the DVD, but I don't want to buy. I don't want to pay for a brand new price.
I mean,
just on principle.
The DVD.
I'm kind of penny pinching. Not it's $8 on Amazon. I'm kind of penny pinching, but just on principle, I don't want to spend that on a DVD.
Sure, but
at that point, I can't believe you're buying something else, and you're I'll throw the Goofy movie DVD in with it.
Yeah, it is in my cart. It is saved for later.
Oh, good.
But I'd rather just find it half price books or a Goodwill or something. I can't believe I'm not finding it.
I've
been looking for years.
I looked up on the Bull Moose website because I got a now that I was thinking about it, I definitely got a Disney Movie Club Blu-ray through Bull Moose, which I just talked about on the Aladdin episode a couple episodes ago when I had Return of Jafar and King of Thieves on Blu-ray. That 100% was a Disney Movie Rewards Blu-ray.
Was it the yellow border on the front?
Yes, on the slipcover. Yeah, that absolutely was. And so I got that in
Bull
Moose.
I found 2 of the Herbie movies on Blu-ray from Disney Movie Club at FYE before.
Right. Yeah.
So those copies I have.
Right. So they're obviously these movies are still going to be in circulation. You just got to find the right price.
You might sell them somewhere.
Right. Exactly.
And I remember I have in the past year, I have seen Goofy movie on DVD at half price books, and even there, it was still $7.99 for the DVD.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, this is a used copy, used DVD.
Well,
Come on.
listen. The DVD has the trivia game, so you kind of gotta get it. You know.
Are you gonna play the trivia game?
Do we have time
You know what?
Why not? How long does it take? How long could it take?
The video is 3 minutes long, but it's like, I mean, we still have to read out the answers, you know.
No, do it. Load up right
Let's
now.
do it.
Load up right now, Hal.
All right,
Do it.
all right.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, I bet you want to do Sylvie. What?
Shut up.
You showed what in your cup?
The perfect cast. Sorry, because I have OBS running, it's probably loading much slower.
Your OBS.
Okay. You guys can see?
Okay. Who is the pretty girl Max has a dream about? Is it Joanne? Is it Roxanne?
What kind of question is that?
Which
one is it?
Well, which is it?
Roxanne.
For sure.
It's B, yeah.
Sylvia. Who's the
What is
pretty
the-
girl Hal is having?
Is that Goofy's outfit from the photo place?
Yeah.
Good job.
Good
Okay,
job.
it's Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Who would have guessed?
Look at Max's face. He's so happy.
What are the?
What are all the
the?
a special concert at school?
Yeah.
Hal, I can't believe you got all 16 of these.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, what are all the kids excited, Max School excited about? No, it's the end of the school year.
Ski. It's special concert.
It's
No.
it's the end of the school year.
Well, they're also excited about the special concert.
Yeah, but no,
They
the
don't
answer,
know there's
but
gonna-
the
they
answer
don't
is
know there's gonna be a special.
the answer is
concert.
A. See?
Way to go.
Way to go.
Well, both are applicable.
After today, the
What snack does
confusing.
Bobby's friend
I'm gonna
love?
sit
Whipped
on-
cream, gummy
I'm gonna
worms,
sit on my butt.
aerosol
aerosol
cheese.
cheese.
I'm not gonna pause it
Yeah.
anymore. I'm just gonna like let it play out.
Fantastic.
So you got to read pretty quickly.
Cheddar! Ow!
What did Max and PJ get?
For interrupting an
sent to
assembly.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know what? On that
How
note,
do you
it's
know?
like,
Didn't you already take this question?
you know, it's like,
this.
on that note, like,
Favorite
why does the
music
principal
guitar.
even? I get like the
Power
principal
back.
can't let it slide, but also like it's the last day of school. What the fuck can you really do at that point?
Right.
I think it's just on principle. On principle.
It's on
Well,
principle.
yeah, like you have to do something.
like-
You have to do something, but at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like whatever you do can't be too much because like they're done.
Right. Yeah.
And,
Yeah, he wants like.
What are the-
You
Howard
got dropped.
Pack
You got
and
dropped through the
Electrolyte?
floor. Hold on. Principal Mason got dropped through the floor. You can like
you're
break
right.
a leg doing that.
You know what? Fair.
Then
I think
it's fair.
I'm gonna yell at your
It's
parents.
justified. Justified.
Anyway, the answer is power line.
It's
No, I think
like
it's
it's the
Electro
answer. It's a
Jack.
combination of the other two answers.
Yeah, it's Electro Jack.
Excelente.
This guy rules.
I don't remember that.
What is Goofy's job? Baby
Uh,
photographer. Which when you put it
he makes toys.
when
He's
you
a
put
toy
it put it
guy.
like that,
All right.
it's a little
What's he
sussy.
doing?
All
baby?
right.
What does Goofy decide to take Max on a
What
road?
kind of
or
photography
why?
we talking?
Goofy thinks Max is going
Max
to wind
is
up.
gonna be a criminal.
Yeah.
Electric chair.
Nice going.
In the electric chair.
The electric chair.
Before he leaves
Your
with his dad,
chair.
what fib does Max tell Roxanne? He's going to join the army. He's going to a concert in Los Angeles.
That's it.
Take the shot, Maxie.
While they're on the road, Goofy and Max pass a familiar duo hitchhiking. Who are they? Tarzan and Turk, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, Buzz and
Yeah.
Woody, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Tarzan, Turk
Okay,
didn't exist yet.
I think the
Cool.
joke
Buzz
is
and
that
Woody
Kevin
barely
Lima
exists
directed
yet.
the movie.
That's absolutely the
Okay.
joke, yeah.
Yeah. That's
What is
fair.
the attraction that Goofy takes Max to? Manny's Magnificent Mud Museum, Lester's Possum Park.
Possum
That's just
Park.
Possum Park. Roadside
That's
Joe. We
right.
hardly knew you.
That's right.
That's right.
What mythical creature are Goofy and Max trapped by? The Loch Ness Monster. Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
No, it's
Lake Michigan
Bigfoot.
Monster.
All right.
Can you step back a bit, Mr. Foot? You gotta focus.
What motel do Max and Goofy stay in? The Neptune.
Neptune.
I almost got this one
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, Neptune Inn.
But no, it's the Neptune.
That's,
Inn.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
actually a
villain
tricky
focus
one for
on it.
once. Yeah, Neptune
It.
Inn.
Mhm. What does Max get? Why does Goofy get mad at Max? Max has changed the map, so they're heading to LA.
Yeah, it's A.
Yeah.
Max has his. What was the other? I need to see what the other
Cool.
answers were though.
Uh,
What are the other answers?
it was something stupid.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong. When the car rolls down the hill, where does it end up? Floating down a roaring river.
Yeah.
Why the
Good
river
job.
roar at them? Is it a lion?
Because it's voiced by Frank Welker. How do Max and Goofy
Okay,
get into the
right,
Powerline
right.
concert? They dig a tunnel to the arena. They hide in
Yep.
instrument cases.
Yeah.
Any one of these could have applied,
close to one.
but they went
Let's
with the
see.
funny
Yeah.
option.
Cool.
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 And 16. What do Max and Goofy do when they accidentally wind up on stage? They get thrown out by security. They run away embarrassed. They join in the dance with the pop star.
Probably the thing that's
It's
a
not a
picture.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The picture is right there.
We
Yeah.
already did 16 questions. That was-
Congratulations.
Time
You
goes
got
by
them
when you're
all
having
right.
Congratulations. Our score is 16.
We did it. Yay.
Yay. Okay, roll credits.
Thank you.